ship was afraid of the American side, coming back from the middle and Wisconsin.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Spear figures go, it was better than most. With the crew and good captain, son. The whole game laid and the breakfast had to wait. The waves broke all of the railing. Every man knew as the captain in hell, which of November goes the
Nice.
Well, there's the band, Simon Bar Sinister.
Oh, I like that, man.
Jeez.
That's good.
That's awesome.
That's really good.
I found that in a snowstorm about a week ago when I was shoveling my driveway.
Apropos, man, you could have gone down in that snowstorm, man.
First of all, I'd like to welcome everybody to the afternoon edition, the Saturday edition, the on-location edition, coming from the Real Shot. I don't know. You call this Appleton, or I don't know what you call this area.
I thought it was Onekani.
We'll go with Onekani. Welcome to Real Shot live from Onekani.
Yeah, man. Wow, man, they got a big mega basketball back there. Whoa.
Dude, it's crazy. We're gonna get into all that. We got so much going on. Man, I'm glad you could join us, Eric. I didn't know you were going to make it this afternoon. You've been on so many other live streams.
It's crazy. I was up late last night, 1 o'clock, with Alex Rudd and freaking Ben Nowak, man, talking about the smallmouth crush experience.
An amazing job.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. That was definitely pretty cool.
That was fun, man. I enjoyed it. Yeah, I mean, those are the other Monster Bass guys along with you, man. I mean, that's your crew.
Yeah.
The other dude out on the West Coast, Informative Fisherman, and it's you 4 guys doing the heat nationally.
Doing it.
Yep. And there you are at the Real Shot, man.
I know. I got some goodies I want to talk about. There's a lot going on. We're kind of freestyling, guys, today.
Yeah.
Which is what I love.
Sure.
We got Alex in the house. What's up, Alex?
A-Rod. He's trying.
We both hit it at the same time, I think. There we go.
Oh, weird, man. That's right. You canceled each other out.
But yeah, doing good. Hopefully going to get some ice fishing in tomorrow. Should be a good weekend. Excited for a good show coming up.
Nice, man. Hey, are you streaming this on YouTube as well, Travis, on your channel?
I sure hope so. Why?
Yes.
I just wanted to check. I'm looking for it.
Okay, maybe we have some technical issues.
I got it up. So.
Oh no! I see it. It's just not in order. I got it.
There we go.
Why you gotta scare me like that?
I know, man. I just need to be sure, man, because I couldn't see any comments. I felt naked without comments.
C2 in the house.
Look at that, man. Cuda.
Carl in the house. Cuda. David Brown is looking for Sean. Where is Sean, man? That's not like Sean to be late. I'm really concerned about Sean right now.
Don't be concerned. He'll pop up. No doubt about it, man.
All right.
Chad's on. Ryan Theo, where's the cherry vodka? Everybody rolling in. Nick Rose, Mike Jansen.
The cherry vodka is not happening ever again. I had 2 little drinks of that and had a pretty bad headache.
Rich Shackelford, what's going on? Lucas McDaniel, Jeffrey Swisher. He goes, fire this thing up, Count Dracula.
We are.
It's weird. I don't know how this came into, but I'll give you guys an early treat that are here. I don't know who did this, but I thought they did a really fantastic job. It's strange. I got this post the other night and I looked at it, and then I looked at it this morning and it had changed. It had changed. It's for the VAM show and hashtag the cost of drinking blood. And what is that? Elvira on one of those wine bottles. That's crazy. Did you do that?
I didn't do that. Somebody's doing it. Somebody's messing with us.
Anyway, man, so I had some people ping me because they're looking to order some things from the Real Shot today, and that's exciting. They want to support you and the channel, and you know, looking for some dirty jigs. Wanted to see how their stock was there.
Yep.
And yeah, man. So and here's an early question for you regarding TRS orders, and I think it's good to, you know, let the 91 people or 100 people watching right now know, if I order using the Smallmouth Crush code today and it's back ordered, do I still get the discount?
Yes, I believe so.
Okay, great. If you could just confirm that, because I got a couple of questions, people looking already online and wanting to order up based on the selection that they saw on the site.
Right. Okay. Perfect. I like it. I like it.
All right. Yeah.
Smallmouth Crush 15 will give you 15% off today. We're going to be talking about a bunch of baits as we go through here. I'm going to do a little prize for everyone. We're going to do a prize package.
Yeah,
this is a good one. This ain't some rinky-dink prize package.
What?
And I'm going to steal a little tip from the live stream last night that I witnessed. Here's how you enter. If you donate $1 through Super Chat, you get 1 entry. And so if you donate 5, it's 5 entries. How much ever you want to donate, but I want to keep it fairly reasonable. $1. Donate $1 in Super Chat. You're entered in the drawing. Let me show you what it is first.
What?
I know. We're going to talk about this, but this is the Dual Realis lipless. You see that?
Oh, that's sexy. Turn it upside down.
Yeah.
There you go. There you go.
Color. Look at that.
Pre-spawn dynamite. Pre-spawn dynamite. Got the gold and red.
110 plus.
Nice.
Junior, by the way.
Hello.
You know nothing about that, Eric.
Oh, do I?
I don't think you do.
You want me to go grab my kabuki chat? Hold on.
All right, you go grab it. We're going to talk about it. While he's getting that, we got some square bills. We got this unique little bait we're going to talk about as well. We got dark sleepers. We got Kitex. We got my favorite Ned rig. We got Get Bit bait. So nice, pretty good prize package I'm going to put together for you. So if you do donate through the Super Chat, every time you donate, we will give you a chance to enter. And I guess we're waiting for Eric.
Yep, Eric's still rummaging through all of his baits back there. But yeah, I mean, it should be a good show today. And then Travis, I noticed on your Instagram too, you mentioned we'll have some special guests popping in and out. Who you got lined up for us?
Yeah, so my buddy Kyle Carpenter, he was actually on the Smallmouth Crush podcast. We already filmed it, but he'll be coming up here. Gary Atkins, another person on the Smallmouth Crush podcast. He'll be joining us. My buddy Tom Nee, JP, maybe Big Time Jimmy. I heard a rumor that he might show up.
Ooh.
Never know who's going to just pop up on here.
Yeah.
I see my buddy Lonnie's in the house.
Yeah, he is. I'm getting back to him real quick on what Super Chat is. So, and there comes Eric right back in.
Man, I moved it.
Hitting the bottle already. You don't know where none of that stuff is. Where's my sticker, dude?
It's on the way, bro.
Okay. 100 people, guys. If you could share this, let's get a crowd going here. I'm going to get fired up.
Yeah, man.
I guess it is a Saturday afternoon. I didn't know what to expect by doing this, but you know, people can definitely catch the show after.
Yeah, absolutely, right?
Mm-hmm. There we go, Dave. He's in. B Wolf. Awesome show Thursday. You watched
Chad Eddings for $24.99. What?
Jeez, Chad. Man, I like his odds right now.
Me too.
Dave's like, well, Dave, you get we'll give you that. We'll give you that 5. You get 5 entries, Dave. Don't worry about it.
That's right.
Hey, we're pretty easy going here, okay?
That's right. We're rounded up.
Easy going here. Before we get really into it, Eric, I had a couple people come up from my hometown that make jigs, and they reached out on me on Instagram, knew that I was in town, wanted to come and meet me. I don't know if he knows this, but I'm going to ask him here in a second to come over and talk about him real quick.
Whoa,
I
sweet.
think you'd really like it. I think he's in high school. Let's do that real quick. You mind?
Do it, man. Bring him on.
All right. I'll be right back.
Yeah, man.
Bring Alex on.
Come on, Alex. Push the button.
Yeah. So one thing you'll see Travis too, he's gonna do today. He's got 2 cameras set up. So there we go. So when he's got people on, he'll back up, and you'll be able to see the both of them a lot better than them just crammed in there. So that'll be nice.
Oh yeah, very cool. Very cool. Okay, excellent.
Yeah. Should be good. And then we already got some donations rolling in, man.
I mean, that Trummerjoy G, Chad,
sure.
Dave Scheid, always up for the challenge, man. Chad, that's giant. He's in big. Danny's Kitchen, C2. Yeah, he does owe me some swag, man. We'll see. I'm representing today, though. Look, man, I got the crush on.
Oh yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's a special run edition. Got a little sweatband on it too, because I fished in it, man. I fished in it.
There you go.
I've been out there repping. You know, John Mango's in.
There
Hello. Oh man, Chad, you're right. Hey, how about that show with Frank Scalish, man?
Cool, Ben. Grab a seat.
I think Frank could probably do a live stream for 48 hours straight, and people will tune in the whole time.
Yeah. Oh
He's
no,
always got some good stuff coming in. We're trying to convince.
No question about
we'll try to get him on some more, and it should be good. But yeah, Travis has got his first guest in here. We'll give him a chance to
nice, man.
Switch to his second camera, and we'll get off and rolling.
Excellent, man. Do it.
Little camera change here. If I can find it.
Your guys got him. Oh, there we go.
How's that?
Yeah, man, perfect.
Sweet. So this is Ben. Ben, say hello. Hello. He's from Winneconne. He's 13.
Hey, Ben, what's going on, man?
13 years old, dude. You gotta check this out, Eric.
What you tying up in your bass lab, bro?
Shoot. I hold on. Before you
gotta switch.
I gotta switch cameras again. This is hard to do here. Hold on. All right. I really need you guys to see this first and foremost.
Yeah, check that out, man, with some rabbit fur.
You know all about that.
You know I tie up a jig like that. Heck yeah, man. That's awesome, man. He's on the right track.
Yeah, dude. Totally. Yeah, if you want to talk about that a little bit, the camera's right up there.
This is a 3/8 ounce counter football that we painted ourselves. It's got a little bit of deer hair, and we got some rabbit strips for the good craw action.
Yeah.
That's the thing. So just peanut butter and jelly.
Pricey, the color. Yeah, that's sexy, man. I'd catch a fish on that.
Heck yeah.
Man, that's really good work. How long have you been tying jigs for?
I started doing them over quarantine. My dad's been doing it for 25 years.
Sure.
So he's been teaching me how to do it. Having a blast doing it every day.
Yeah,
that's awesome, man. Nothing like getting down there and making your own stuff, dude. What kind of vise do you use to tie? Do you use a rotary vise? Talk about your gear a little bit, man.
Well, we use just not really sure what the vice is, but normally the red is
does it spin? Does okay, so that's called a rotary vise, right? So yeah. It might be a Renzetti. There's a bunch of rotary vices out there. Just makes it easier when you're laying stuff in. So very good, man. What's the biggest bass you've caught on your jig so far, man?
This spring it was a black marabou jig, and it was a 6'3" smallmouth in Clark County.
Nice.
Just on generic. We do something different with our materials. Instead of using the generic marabou, we've been trying to do a little bit of craft fur.
Yeah, man. Craft fur is good, man.
Yeah,
absolutely, man. They use that a lot in saltwater for sure. No question about it. It's a little tougher, and you can get a lot of range of colors in it for sure, man. It's pretty consistent. So they got the premium craft fur too. I don't know if you guys are familiar with like some of the winter jigs. Craft fur is in play for sure. So yeah, very good, man.
Yeah, craft fur.
I'll give you
ourselves.
Yeah, okay. Nice. I'll give you a little tip, man. You can put a You can put a rattle on the bottom of that jig using some heat shrink tubing and put a glass rattle inside of it, man, and then tie your material over that, man. It's very slick. It's a very cool rattle system. Yeah. Hey, Travis, zoom in on him for that marabou jig. I want to see the craft hair one.
All right, hold on 1 second.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, man. Purple Death right there. Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. What kind of hook you got in that? An owner or Gami or Mustad?
I think it's a owner 53. I don't remember the exact thing.
Yeah, beautiful, man.
Yeah, that's pretty cool looking.
I like that little purple flash blue you got going in there, man. That's nice. Now, will you pair that up? Will you just fish that naked, or will you pair it up with some pork?
We put a little bit of Senko on there.
Yeah, a little bitty Senko for weight to cast. Okay, so your traditional kind of concept with the marabou. Give it a little bit more weight. Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Beautiful. Yeah, Punisher makes a hair jig. Do they carry Punishers there, Travis? At PRS? Okay. Yeah, I find out for me, because that's a great little wintertime cold water jig, and maybe we ought to do a show on winter jig fishing at some point. And I think that would be a really cool segment, because it's in play. My biggest bass on the Potomac, for your young angler tying up jigs right there, came on it was a craft fur jig. It was a 1/4 ounce modified Arky Mustad 2/0 hook. It had the heat shrink tubing. I can show you the jig. It's got heat shrink tubing, and then I threw a 101 spin pork frog on there. It was black with a burnt orange trailer, and the fish moved up out of 8 feet into about 4 to 6 to feed. And if I found a piece of rock, I just set that jig there, and I literally had to shake it in place for up to a minute. And I caught like 5 bass that day, and one was probably over 8 for my biggest Potomac fish. Goggle eyes, man. Like, the tail was bigger than my shoe. It was a jank. Didn't fit in the live well straight. We didn't have a scale, so
yeah. But, right.
When I first saw him, it was on 8-pound test tube on a spinning rod. That's my Potomac PB on a hair jig, dude. Like Wisconsin style stuff, man. Nobody thinks about that stuff out here, but I know you guys know all about the hair down in Wisconsin, man. Wisco hair, bro. Wisco hair rules.
Well, Ben from Winneconne, man, I appreciate you stopping in real quick and saying hi. Awesome looking jigs, and I guess I get to keep these, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome.
Look at that, man. Nice.
If you want to place an order or look at the hair jigs, you can go to On the Fly Tackle LLC on Facebook, or send us an email at ontheflytackle@gmail.com.
ontheflytackle@gmail.com.
Nice, man. Look at that man promoting, repping, doing his thing, man. I know you saw my little purple shaky jig head worm, man. Come on, man. That's fat too, right? Yeah, a jig tire can appreciate what's going on there. Not easy to do.
I have to get my hands on some of those.
Man, keep it rolling, man. Good job.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes. Awesome. Well, there you go, man. That was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They're legit. They're legit. Kyle, get over here, man. You don't have to.
Muskie Hunter's watching. He's watching sexual wrestling, and he's also watching you guys too. Who that in the house? David Brown with another $5 donation, man. You got a lot of people in the game here on the super chats. Woo!
So we can't really hear each other through these for some reason.
I can hear you just because I'm next to you.
I know. How does that work?
What's up, Eric?
How you doing, man?
Good. How you been?
Good, man. What's happening?
We got Kyle Carpenter joining us, the mastermind between. I don't know. That's our giveaway, man. We're gonna give all those away, and we're gonna talk about them.
Nice.
Yeah.
What? 110 plus?
Junior.
Junior.
Where's the camera? Right there.
The camera's way up.
I'm looking at that.
I know. It's a little confusing here.
What's new, Eric?
Man.
What's new, man? Man, I've been like late night streaming with Travis and Frank Scalish. That was an awesome show. And then last night I was on with Alex Rudd and Ben Nowak, man, streaming till 11-ish, and then we stayed on for 2 hours after that, just yapping about fishing. It was fun, man. And then I was excited to get on with you guys today, live from your shop, dude.
Live from
How
the real
about that,
shot.
man? The Real Shot, dude. I was introduced to the Real Shot by Travis, but he got them sneaky little tubes out and put a hurting on it. And I'm like, man, can I get a handful of them tubes, bro? And some of them nice, they still ain't showed up, but that's okay. I know where to find them now. So, man, the secret's out. The secret's out.
Take them out of Travis's box.
I tried. I didn't want to end up on YouTube. Like, damn, Epic Eric stole my stuff.
Hey, can you guys in the comments, can you hear Kyle pretty good? Because this is my first time with two mics. I know Ben was a little quiet still.
Yeah, how's Travis's volume? Just everybody comment.
Well,
I hear you guys fine.
a lot of people want to talk Alabama rigs, but we got a podcast
You gotta wait for that podcast.
with Kyle coming up. And we don't want to spoil that.
Spoil them secrets. We can talk about head-to-head, talk about Wisco Bass, talk about other stuff.
Yeah, let's do that because we don't want to go there too soon with the A-rate deal. But
When are you airing that, June or something?
no, I think it'll be before June for sure. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys got a lot going on here at the Real Shot. So
We do.
since we last spoke, Kyle was on one of our live streams. Wow. Early spring, was it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Quite a while ago. And we were just talking about the Real Shot and the head-to-head fishing. Let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so head-to-head fishing is exploding. It's growing faster than we even anticipated. The walleye side of things is the opportunities that we have for the walleye anglers has been really awesome. The Pro Walleye Series, if you haven't heard about that, I know this is more of a bass show, but if you're following anything with head-to-head, you'll see that we're pushing the walleye side of things really good. They're really hard trying to build that up to the level that the bass industry's at. So there's a lot of opportunity there.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm just reading the comments here. Sometimes we get carried away in the comments, Kyle.
What's Timmy
Hey,
Meyer got?
hey, Kyle, wasn't the guy from Dem Jigs one of your head-to-head winners?
Yeah, John DeMay. He won.
John DeMay, right?
Yeah, he won the. What event was that? The Delavan, Geneva, and Whitewater event.
Okay, man, that's hard to do, right? That's a
Yeah.
great format, man.
He
I'm
was-
excited to see that thing
he was
grow.
pretty confident.
nationwide. Yeah,
He was pretty confident going into it that he was going to walk away with it, and
how about that?
he told me to send him the check before we even started.
Jeez.
No, he did on camera, like live.
No, not
way.
live. Just
Okay,
kinda,
just behind the scenes.
Yeah, just kind of BSing with each other. He got to Whitewater and he struggled a little bit, so he was a little scared.
Man, so what was his winning margin?
Is that better?
Oh, I don't
better.
remember. I'd have to look. I can look it up quick. It wasn't a lot. I know when he got him and Adam Barnard were in the championship on Geneva.
Yeah.
Sorry, they were on Delavan. I
Okay.
believe on the championship they were there on Delavan. And it wasn't, he didn't walk away with it. Adam made him earn it, that's for sure.
That's cool, man. That's what it's all about, right? That's what it should be like. Head to head, man. Crazy.
Yeah. You don't want anybody to walk away with them. That's the pressure that puts on you, and hopefully Travis comes back and fishes one so you can actually talk to it. It's totally different than a 5-fish tournament. It's
For sure.
different. It's the first event that head-to-head had I actually fished in, and I didn't know what to expect. I was so worried about penalties, and you get in your own head with things that you can't control, and it was crazy. I wish I could do it over. I wish I could have that day over, because that 5 hours went by. Before I knew it, I had half hour left.
You were talking about that earlier. It's crazy how time just is like you look up and it's 2:00 and you're like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's a different type of pressure. It's a different type of competition when you only have to beat one guy.
Wow. Who came up with the concept? Like, what was the genesis and the idea behind head to head? Like, who spawned it? When did it start? How did it happen?
So the first year of it official year was 2019. September of 2019, there was 2 events. Went into October. Brian Keller, the owner of the Real Shot, when he was fishing walleye league or like walleye tournaments on the circuits, he always knew there was something missing, and the bass side was growing as fast as it was, and he noticed that the industry was changing and bass was going to just take over the walleye side. And what in his mind, what was missing was live fan interaction, 1v1 type events that nobody ever did. And he decided to roll with it in 2019 and run them 2 events, and it's just been piling on since then. It's just nothing but good, nothing but positive ever since then. And that, like I said, the cool part of it is you only have to beat one person.
Right.
That one person could be this guy. The one person could be somebody you don't really think, okay, I'm going to breeze through this one. That event I was in, I probably got a little confident in my head of, okay, I had a really good practice. I went to the second day lake where I qualified to. If I would have won on day 1, I would have went there. Well, I smashed them there in practice. So I was already looking to my second match and not focusing on the match that I was at. And
sure.
And a lot of guys had that happen to them this year. You have to take that match that you're on at that time, that 5 hours. You have to take it seriously. Otherwise, before you know it, you're 4 or 5 pounds behind, and you just not going to pick it up.
And it's live updated scoring, meaning like what your competitor has. So that adds a whole nother dimension of live scoring to say, oh man, I'm a pound behind, I'm 3 pounds, I'm 5 pounds behind.
Yep. I was excited in the match that I was in with Colin Martin. When I heard that he caught a 4-pounder, I was excited for him. Like, man, good for you, because fishing was really tough.
Yeah,
it was tough. I expected to really, really smash him, and I had my opportunities. I had 2 fish come off that if I get in the boat, I win with. But
no way. Are you kidding me? What'd you lose them on?
Chatterbait.
Oh,
you were rigging.
No, I did at the end of that day. I was throwing a rig.
Oh,
but
maybe you needed a chatterbait with a trailer hook, an articulating trailer hook. We'll just
that probably would have helped.
I think maybe. I got destroyed. My heart broke. Semi-national finals in the Bass Nation and down on Chickahominy, and found a group of fish. I blew up my motor first day, and sitting in 9th place, only fishing a half a day. By the way, I got my limit day 1, going to my big fish upriver. Boom, my show 250 blows a flywheel seal, and there's oil spewing out of my cowling. Right. So yeah, man. So lost like 4 hours of fishing. Showboat. That's right, man. So I'm trolling motor only day 2. So I'm like relegated to a creek. So I make the best of it, man. But first thing in the morning, had a fish blow up on a chatterbait, blew a hole in the film by a clump of grass. The dude in the back of the boat casts a crankbait behind me and catches a 4-4. And I turned around, I said, don't do that again. That was wrong. Because I was picking my jig up. Man, go around the bend and catch a 5-5. 2 hours later, I have like a 7 come unbuttoned 10 feet from the boat on a chatterbait. So I feel your pain, dude. And I did not have a trailer hook on. So, because, it's always in the way of the trailer. You don't know what to do with it. But so I've tried to figure out a way. I'll keep you posted on that, man. Maybe one will come your way in a gift box. Yeah. So anyway, so what happened after that? You lost 2 fish. I mean, how do you recover?
I made a huge mental error. Then I knew I could go to a weed line and catch them on a drop shot.
Right.
It's 2 pound minimum, so you have to catch a 2-pounder for it to count. So that's another thing that plays into your head of, okay, I can go catch what everybody thinks are 2-pounders. Typically are coming to be 110s, 112s, 113s, 114s.
Sure.
So I went to a weed line and I saw some fish on the live scope. So I'm pitching straight to them, and I catch it. There's like a 2-2 or something, 2-2 or 2-3, whatever it was. I'm like, all right, cool. There's fish moving down this weed line, and I just kept going down that weed line. I didn't sit on that little turn and just work it out for the rest of the time. And hindsight now, it's I'm thinking about, okay, I'm going to fish this. I had to hit all this stuff in my head.
Sure.
Right. And the lake we were on was idle only. You couldn't.
Oh, wow.
Idle everywhere you went. So
what's the format, Kyle? Is it 5 fish, or is it as many as you can catch?
Every fish counts.
Okay, gotcha. So what did he win with?
He only ended up catching the 1 fish. It was a 4-pound even.
So literally, you got a 2-2. You lost 2 fish on a chatterbait. If you worked that turn, you might have come away with the win.
In my head, I would have, right?
Dang. Well, yeah, of course. No, I understand. I understand.
I was banking on that chatterbait bite right away, and it worked. I had the afternoon session, so I was banking on ripping that chatterbait through the grass, and I had bites. I caught, I think, 3 or 4 unders, under 2 pounds, and one I actually had in my hand on the side of the boat.
Oh my God, no way!
Worried about them stupid penalties.
No way.
In my mind, I didn't want to swing it and get a penalty, right? So
are they smallies?
No, they were largemouth.
Largemouth. Okay, so if you swung that fish in the boat, how big was he?
It was over 3.
So you got a 3 and a 2-2.
Yeah.
You win your match because he only caught a 4.
Yep. I had that.
So what's the penalty for swinging a fish and letting it hit the deck?
2 minutes.
So you would only lost 2 minutes. So here's a question for you in the future.
It's only 2 minutes.
No, I'm asking you, like in the future, now you'll have 4 hours and 58 minutes to fish.
I'm swinging that fish every time.
Would you swing the fish in the next derby? Right, you got to get the fish in the boat, right?
If it's tough and you know that you're 1 or 2 fish away.
Well, this was in the first 20 minutes of the day.
Okay.
You know,
I get it. Yeah.
This was right away at the beginning of the match. So, and I told myself I wasn't going to get a penalty. My goal in my head, I'm not going to get a penalty. 2 minutes, that's 3 or 4 casts, depending on what you're doing, chucking and winding. You know, throwing a bait, that's a couple opportunities of being in the strike zone that I didn't want to give up. And
man,
in hindsight, I should have just swung it. I had the fish in my hand, and it started to thrash around. I saw the chatterbait stuck, so I'm like, whatever, I'll just come back. Chatterbait came out.
What's your chatterbait setup? I know a lot of guys, you know, they like struggle with the rod, the reel, the line. Are you throwing a jackhammer? What would talk about that a little bit?
I was throwing a 3/8 jackhammer, and I was throwing probably too stiff of a rod. I was throwing a Dobbin 744 at the time.
Okay.
But I had to rip it through the grass. So
That's fair. That's fair.
I wanted to be able to rip it out of there. So I actually used a different rod than I typically did.
Yeah.
Normally through a 743. So it's a little more limber. It's not as heavy, you know?
Yeah.
And if I would have had that rod, maybe I don't even get the bite, but
good point.
On. So
So where can people watch head to head, and what's the best way to follow it?
Head to head fishing, h2hfishing.com is our website. Everything that we have from 2020 and 2019 is all on YouTube as well, H2H Fishing on YouTube. So everything is archived down there. You can see all the winners and stuff on our website. You can sign up for our 2021 events on the website, which there are 4 bass events in 2021 that are opens. We changed the format a little bit this year. In the past, last year we did 16, a bracket of straight 16. Now going forward, we're doing an unlimited entry, so we can have an unlimited field. You fish Saturday, Sunday on the app. So we're going to use the Fish Donkey app where everybody uses light to weight conversion. And then starting Monday is the top 8 go into the bracket. So then it's a true head-to-head starting on Monday. Once you get into the bracket, top 8 get paid guaranteed, and then you're into the bracket.
Wow, that's awesome. And then what's first place?
Based on 50 boats, first place is $6,000.
Nice.
All entries are 500.
So, as far as this year, I've checked the schedule. I wanted to. I'm coming back to Wisconsin a few times, and I wanted to get into it. It just didn't work out for me. But I am going to take advantage of your tournament trail, the Wisco Single Series.
Yep.
I'm going to try to jump into the Sturgeon Bay event, 3rd week in June. That'll be fun. How many boats do you have for that right now?
Right now, I believe we have 63 signed up for that right now. For the whole season so far, we have 52 that signed up for the whole season, all 5 events as of right now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. I mean, I loved it when I fished it a couple of years ago. Very cool format, fishing by yourself. And
you put on a clinic for that one. There was a lot of talk about smallmouth crush after that one.
Was there? Well, Gary got me, man.
Gary just walked in.
Oh, Gary's here in the house. Gary got me that day. I don't get it.
He does that to people out there.
You think if we drill on him, he'll give up some stuff?
He might tell you the 3rd story on how he won that tournament.
I don't know. It's it's going to be interesting because this is the third week in June, and it could very well still have some fish on beds.
Yeah, it's lining up with weather. With the weather we have right now, it's 2 degrees outside right now, but we've had a pretty mild winter, so I'm anticipating an early spring, which will, by June 7th, all the big fish should be done spawning.
I hope not.
But when you were there for that tournament, that was in June the same week, and there was a lot of big fish on beds yet. They weren't easy to find, but the ones you found were
right.
Mixed in with others.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Yeah. So Kyle, it's nice to meet you. My name's Alex, Travis's intern. So I had a quick question for you regarding the smallmouth on beds. What's your best method of going in there to find those fish? I've never been up to a Great Lakes body of water like that. What's your best method on breaking down one of those bodies of water for bedding fish?
Well, you just look for the spawning flats. No different than any other body of water. It's big giant flats is where they're going to be. You find rocks. The fish will spawn in some off-the-wall places up here just because this last couple of years the water's been so high. The water's up 4 feet from 5 years ago. So there's fish spawning in people's backyards in some areas. So
what?
You using a flogger at all?
Yeah, I do. I don't use it a whole lot, just because I don't fish a whole lot of tournaments during the spawn where I want to get, into the deeper fish. I go pick on the ones that are shallow that are, I can run down the bank and catch 30, 40 of them in an hour, But the deeper fish, you have to use the flogger if you want to catch them. And that's what Travis did during that event. Is he was the only one that I know of that was out fishing the deeper water as efficient as he did it.
Travis, I've seen videos of people fishing with like an ice rod on the flogger. Do you typically tend going towards a shorter rod when you're using that technique?
No, but that's a good point. I might experiment a little with it.
I've seen that quite a bit, guys with floggers. Travis, you're unique because you got long legs, long arms, so you can get hunched over it. A fat guy like me, using a flogger is just a pain in the ass by yourself. Using a shorter rod definitely helps.
Yeah, I'm sure.
I use the shortest rod I have, which is a 6.6 in that situation when I'm by myself.
I'm actually going to be using some different rods than what I've used in the past this coming year. I love that Legend St. Croix Extreme 7-foot medium light and the 7-foot medium, but they don't make their new model. They don't make it in a 7-foot medium light just yet. So I think it's 610. That's probably we got one right actually there. I got one right back here. I think they got one in stock here, guys. This is going to be the rods I'm going with for 2021. I'm going to be upgrading. This is the Legend St. Croix Extreme, the new version of it. This is a 7-foot medium, and I love it. It just feels perfect in my hand. If any of you guys that watch all my videos, I love throwing this rod. It's pricey, dude. They got it for $630.
That's MSRP on it.
$630 rod. If you're looking for something that is, listen, and you don't need a $630 rod, but if you want the best out there, this is the rod to get. 15% off if you use the code. Makes it worth it right now. It really does. It's going to be an awesome. I can't wait.
Yeah. So, Travis, Kyle, I'd like to get your opinion on this too. So, excuse me, regarding the 6'10" and 7-foot rods, do you think that 2 inches really makes a difference, or is it just negligible?
No, it makes a huge difference.
Really?
Just casting distance, just picking slack off the water. It's a huge difference. The shorter the rod, typically the heavier the action will be.
Okay.
A 6'10" medium is going to be heavier action-wise than a 7.2 or 7.3 medium.
Yeah.
By default. So
cool.
It makes a huge difference, in my opinion. I don't know what you think, Travis.
Absolutely. That's why I was kind of frustrated.
When they got rid of the 7.1.
Yeah.
What was the reasoning for that? Did you ever find out from St. Croix?
No, I don't know. And what I'm a little concerned with, because I do like the medium light for dropping straight down, and the 6'10" isn't going to be that. I think it might actually be a little bit easier for me to get that bait positioned properly when I do see them on the graph. With just, you know, as dumb as it sounds, it's only a couple inches, but
yeah, it makes a difference though.
Yeah, I think
if you pick up a 6'6" bait casting rod and go to a 7 foot, it's like, holy,
Yeah.
story of my life type thing. This is, you know, it's there's so many better options. Like you're saying, the targeting type things, the shorter the better.
Yeah.
6'6", 6'8", anything target wise. So to bring that into the spinning game, it's going to make the same sense.
Right, right. Hey, Eric, you wanted to mention your Instagram real quick for some reason?
Oh no, just I didn't see it on the YouTube screen. Is it up?
Oh, no, we just have the how you can donate and get the entry for the pack up right now, but we can
10-4.
We can put that up once in a while if it makes you feel better.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Just, you know, want to sell a few stickers, you know. Just remember, stickers are available.
You love your stickers. Talk about it, man.
Man, dude, man, Goonie Wolf. What you got?
Here, we got free stickers in the store.
All right, man, you got to buy these. No. Anyway, man, Goonie Wolf, man. Goonie Wolf.
By the way,
artist.
I think is Deme 67. Is that
Johnny?
Is that John? Okay.
Yep.
So he just donated a super chat. He's in the drawing for all kinds of baits here. There's a lot of baits I want to talk about yet. We got mega bass. So any $1 or more donation, you get one entry. Super chat, bunch of plastics. We're going to be talking about that. It's going to be a nice little giveaway.
We'll throw some head-to-head stickers in there as well.
There, perfect. Love it, love it.
Like I got a head-to-head buff I can toss in there as well.
Nice.
Dude, I got some buffs too I'm going to toss in there. You guys are going to get a whole bunch of stuff.
Everybody loves stuff.
They do. They do. And I appreciate you guys supporting the channel here. We got a lot going on. I know Gary's in the house. We're going to bring him on shortly, probably in the next 15 minutes here. We're going to talk with him. I do want to talk about some baits, Eric, because there's a couple here that really fascinate me. I don't know which one to choose first. I guess I gravitated towards the Dual Realis Vibration. This is a 62. Hopefully you guys can see that a little bit. And as soon as Eric stops texting.
Yeah, I'm actually having to put my website up again.
Oh, geez.
So you got me for another 7. You got me for another 17 minutes. So let's get to the bait section.
Did your domain get stolen?
And then I'm signing off for the day. So let's get to the baits, man. Let's talk about it. Come on, man. Duo Realis, because you got me for 17 minutes, bro. And then I'm out for the day, man. I might pop in later.
Oh, okay.
I got to get ready for Florida, bro. I haven't rigged a rod, man.
Well, why don't you just rig in the background and talk about what you're doing?
Are you going to get scolded like I did?
What's that now?
Are you going to get scolded from Travis like I did?
Oh, I'll be doing the scolding today, if anybody. So, you know, like he's not putting my name up. So, you know what? There you go, man. You get me for as long as that's not there. Come on now. Let's go.
I'm not
time,
doing it.
brother.
It's Alex.
I've already asked Alex. It should be pre-done before the show. We've covered this. It's in the show notes, man. It's in the show notes. Training Manual 101, Smallmouth Live.
Listen to me.
Get it right, man. It's the operational manual. We covered this 100 times, man. Let's go. Come on.
Eric, you don't understand. I don't understand why you
Travis told me. I don't think so. I'll shut this stream down, bro. You know I will.
You got that free plug on your stickers.
Oh, Eric, more's coming.
Don't eat your damn Instagram up constantly. Everybody who's watching already knows your Instagram. They know who you are.
There's new people out there, bro. I'm seeing a lot of new names here. These are Real Shot fans, not yours, not mine, man. These are new eyeballs, man. You got to maximize the opportunity, man. I'm just trying to cover my costs, man. That's all I'm trying to do, bro.
Eric, I remember that show I was on last time. Travis killed the stream on us, didn't he?
Oh, yeah, man. Oh, yeah. Oh, I've shut the show down. He shut it down. It's awesome.
He got all upset that I was sharing some of his secret baits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we talk about that now?
No. Listen.
Yes.
Did you?
I might have brought some actually.
It is pocket. Yeah. Let's do it, Kyle.
Eric, have you tried the Dual Realis Vibration?
No.
So I've used
it would be a new lipless in my bag.
I've used the larger size.
Yeah.
In the perch pattern. They have amazing colors. That's what makes them so special. The hooks are super sharp. They got a bunch on the shelves right now. You guys can get these for 15% off if you use the code. I can see myself obviously in the springtime, but it's really narrow. So it's gonna, this is a great profile for open water as well.
I'm gonna say it's probably better for grass because of the narrow profile and ripping.
Oh, that too.
Rip it really easy. Yep.
That too.
Yeah.
I use these a lot, especially the bigger size, which we could show you in that perch in open water.
Oh, sure.
Smallmouth.
Yeah.
And I'm surprised you haven't tried those yet. They're very, the coloring's awesome. You know,
yeah, the JDM color palette is like second to none, man. That pre-spawn dynamite color you held up, which is in your hand, you know, it's got that. It's kind of like a Rayburn red, but with translucent. It's got gold accents on it, man. Pre-spawn dynamite, any of the Mega Bass colors in pre-spawn dynamite, it's just a killer color, man. Pre-spawn dynamite, look it up, and that's a very similar one in the duel that he's talking about, duo.
Okay. Dang, that's a mega size there, dude.
That's a big one. See it.
So what's the weight on that?
What the heck?
3/4 ounce.
3/4, I believe.
It's 3 7/8 inches. It's 1 1/8 ounce.
That one's a bruiser.
Dude,
Right.
would you throw that up here, dude?
I purchased a few for Alabama.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it
man.
would work, but
You want a bigger bite in the spring, get yourself a 3/4 ounce trap. Like if you're going to a fishery like Guntersville, Florida, anywhere where there's 7, 8 pound fish, the 3/4 ounce trap, you gotta gear up for it. You gotta, look at your what you're throwing it with. But you do yourself a favor, step up and try it. If you've never done it and you live on a grass fishery body of water, 3/4 ounce trap will get you a big bite. That's a fact, Jack. Bigger baits, bigger bites in the spring.
yeah, for sure.
Right on.
Real quick, I want to talk about this bait here,
Kamuki.
Kamuki. Here it is, guys. Just so you can see, it's got just one hook in the back, nothing in the rear. It's got weight on the bottom, which allows this bait to fall basically perpendicular. Is that how you say it? Perpendicular?
No.
Okay,
Nose down. You're trying to say nose down.
Yeah. That's
Perpendicular would be this way.
Yeah, straight down this bait falls.
Mm-hmm.
Legit, dude.
What's nice with them is you can drag them too.
It balances, stays upright.
They hook up, so you can drag them. You can fish them like a jig.
So that's a really good technique if the fish are super, like super cold water. Like the earliest trap bite you'll find on some of the gravel banks on our rivers, Travis. There's another, lipless bait that you can drag because it stays level on the bottom. It doesn't roll. TN50,
Yeah.
TN50, 60, 70. They make multiple sizes. You guys carry that there too, Kyle?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You guys want to look at the tungsten TN for tungsten.
So what I like
50,
about this,
60,
I bought about 15 of these baits early this fall. I bought a bunch of these because I have big plans for them this spring. I'm going to drag that through the grass. I'm going to work it like you would a normal lipless, but I think it's just going to come through a lot better. And actually, the owner of the store here, Brian, went on a bass trip down to Guntersville and caught them big time on this lipless, and so that's why he brought them into the store. And man,
I can't find them jackals right now.
it's legit. So I'm excited to use it. Now, I haven't caught anything on it yet, but I am excited to use it. You know what I mean? What do we got here? Dem Jigs donated a dozen jigs
Nice.
for the gift package. Holy crap.
Nice.
So guys, every time you donate to the Super Chat, every dollar goes to this whole big gift pack. That's awesome. Dark Sleepers. We got to talk about the Dark Sleeper as well. I've been messing around with the Dark Sleeper this past fall up on the St. Lawrence River, and I was definitely impressed with it. It catches them.
It's a bait that you can replace a trap with in the cold water too.
Right.
Because it comes through the grass so good.
Hey, Alex, if you can make a new banner on the bottom, put Epic Eric shit real big, but at least put the contest that's going on so it can support the broadcast of this show, and I can make a little bit of money and, you know, get some gas money to drive back to my parents' basement later, I'd appreciate that.
Such a liar.
Just make it big, you know. Make sure Eric's face is on there too, and all that, and the back.
Now now you're getting the idea, man.
Yeah.
Now you're getting the idea, man. But don't patronize me, bro. I'll be out in a minute, man. Good luck today. Enjoy your show, bro. It's all you, man. Just you don't worry about it. Man, I felt so at home last night with Alex Red. I can't even tell you, man. I was welcomed with open arms, man. It was epic. Eric right up there, man. He asking questions about my logo, man. I liking my stuff. Oh, it felt good.
Warm and fuzzy.
Warm and fuzzy, man. The feel the love. It's about the love.
Seems like every time I turn on a podcast, Epic Eric's on it nowadays.
Everywhere. It doesn't matter where you go.
The invites are coming. I don't know why, man, but you know, I'm just a dude with a bunch of baits, man. That's pretty much what it stacks up at.
We got to get you on Professional Overrun then.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, man.
That's a podcast, right?
That's a podcast that we host here at the Real Shot.
Oh, that'd be fun, man.
He's definitely going to be needed for that, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
We just got some hot baits fresh out of the mold from Austin.
What the heck?
We got Sheep's Custom.
He's here. We can bring him on.
Dude, that'd be exciting. What is that? What is Sheep's Customs?
So, some good plastics. Hey, why don't I? When do I get a break?
You don't. You're the face of the show.
You're the host, bro.
Oh man! All right, there's your mic. Get real close to that. Come on in. Scooter on in, man. Get over that. There you go. She's Custom, man. I've been using these baits for a while. They work. We talked about it on my my Patreon. I love how they float.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Naturally buoyant. And I know Paul catches them on it good too. The Centipede up on the Wolf River. We did we filmed a show. I used those baits. So you're Paul's nephew, right?
No, I'm grandson.
Yeah. So Paul. So if you guys don't know, Paul's been on the YouTube channel before. I kind of basically fished with him for years on Lake Winnebago, and back in the day, he dominated out there. He still does. You guys win some tournaments.
Yeah, a couple years ago we won the Wall Pack Open.
Yep. And so you started pouring these baits. They're actually available here at the Real Shot. The thing is, it doesn't do justice. Like if you put these in the aquarium, like I do back at home, that's when you see how these baits work. They're just, and the colors too. I mean, you had some big name. I mean, we'll talk about it. You've had some big name pros secretly. Are they going to get mad if you talk about it?
I don't know.
Well, let's just find out. So tell them who are some of the big names that secretly buy your baits and the story behind it.
Well, number one, I have Jacob Wheeler. When he was at the Nina Olaf that first year that they had it, I went down, saw him at the boat ramp, and just started talking with him. Asked him if there's anything I could improve on in the baits, and he goes, no, but I want he ordered about $300-400 for them.
Woo!
Yeah.
I mean, that's a big deal when one of the top anglers in the country's trying to get his hands on your custom plastic and baits.
And the other one was Jordan Lee.
Wow, classic champion.
Yeah.
Can we hold up a bait and get a close up?
Yes.
Do this one.
All right.
For both of them.
Yeah, I'll show them both, guys. Let me get up here.
That one's my new color that I've been doing pretty good on.
So these are
Roby and Crosstail, Clearwater.
Can you guys see that?
Yes, we can.
You see the coloring in that?
Beautiful.
Are these on the Real Shots website right now?
Well, I'm trying to get Justin to get them in here again.
What baits do you have in the store right
I
now?
have the Nightmare Shad and
Can you bring some of those over as well?
yeah.
Then here's the other colors.
Very Goby-ish.
It is, dude. And they work, Eric. They do work. I'll get you some, Eric. I'm going to put this in your care package.
Oh, nice, man. Thank you.
And listen, man, you know what I mean? I think I hooked you up a lot lately. I can't believe you went on that rant. Now that I think about it. Because I'm just thinking at home, I got I got a huge care package coming your way. And the
You
treat
do?
like that,
It's terrible.
terrible, man.
It's crazy.
Don't patronize me. I'll end this stream.
You know, people need to get a little taste of it, man.
I know, guys. Listen, Chiefs Custom Baits, no joke. All right, here we go. Yeah, so you make some. I got to talk about this, okay?
Yeah, those are getting pretty light. I have like two packs.
You got 2 packs left?
That's the only one of that. I have 2 packs of my green weenie.
Oh, geez. If you guys are on the website, you're buying baits, you're going to want this. So what do you call this thing? Nightmare Shad?
Yeah.
The Nightmare Shad. You guys, if you watched my Patreon, which some of you have, some of you haven't, I shared this bait on the Patreon stream because of its buoyancy. So I love a Dream Shot, but I hate how sometimes a Dream Shot just lays on the bottom. This bait's going to float and be more horizontal in the water, and I just think it gives it a lot more action. Of course, we'd love to have you purchase this through the Real Shot, but you can also go to your Facebook. Is that Facebook, or how do you find you on here?
Yeah, I have Facebook, Instagram, Chiefs Custom Baits, and then my email is just chiefscustombaits@yahoo.
There's the packaging.
I'm getting a website here, hopefully by April. So be probably chiefscustombaits.com when I get it.
So what are the colors that the Southern guys are ordering?
Yeah, what
from
Wheeler?
Let's talk about like some. Yeah, that would be great for the bass, the green dudes.
Wheeler actually ordered this one and green weenie.
Okay.
I know that.
Green weenie.
Green pumpkin he was doing.
Yeah.
I think they just like the buoyancy of the baits.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
And I think it's a profile thing too. You know what I mean? It's a little thicker body than your Super Fluke. It seems really softer from what I can tell. And right, Travis, I think that's the main thing is buoyancy. So you got action and profile, but it's a bigger bait and probably for a bigger bite. I mean, that looks saucy right there, man. Really nice. Custom, right? You guys built that mold custom?
No,
Good
it's not
stuff.
a custom mold.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah.
Working on getting some of those. Hopefully, I want to get a little Ned craw. That's what that's the thing I want to get.
Okay, Ned craw, cool.
But another cool thing about these baits is if you're not drop shotting, fish jumps, he throws the bait off the hook.
Yeah.
Then most of the time they just sink. They just don't float up on the surface. You can just go with the trolling motor, go over, get them, bite a bit off, and keep fishing.
How about that?
Yeah.
Very cool.
I've used them down to probably 2 inches and still catching fish.
Still catching them, man.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Hey, tell us the name of your company again. People are asking in the
I
comments.
just put it in the comments too.
Okay, cool.
I
Thanks.
just spelled it out. Yep. And
I
no
see it
website's
right
all
here.
Facebook. There is some product here in the Real Shot in the store. So if you go on their website, just type in Chiefs, SCHIEFS. Yeah, we appreciate Austin coming down and talking about his baits. We'll have to get you on a show one of these days in the future as well and go over your whole lineup at some point because truly is a great bait that I love to throw, especially when you want that Dream Shot to float instead of sink.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Then the new one is like kind of like the flatworm. So
Yes. Yep.
then you know how hard those are to get.
Yeah. Impossible right now.
Yeah.
Impossible. Perfect. Awesome. Well, we're going to take a quick break, guys. And we're going to bring Gary on in just a second.
Good segment, man. That's cool. Local little lure company, man. That's nice.
Hell yeah.
Love it, man. Buy local, bro.
What's that? Yeah, we're going to put that in the giveaway for sure.
Do this one too.
All right, awesome. All right, Eric, how much time we got? You got to roll?
Yeah. You good? I'll be back on later.
Yeah.
Let me know if Big Time Jimmy comes on, man. Oh, I know you're gonna be fine. Let me know if Jimmy Big Time comes on, man.
All right, I will.
All right, man. Good show, man. Thanks, everybody.
We'll see you in a little bit.
See you later. Peace.
Perfect. What I'm going to do is take a quick commercial break, and we're going to bring on Gary. And I'm going to actually got a little kind of a cool announcement. I'm going to try to get the crew together here and talk about that. So bear with me.
Yeah, so for anyone who hasn't had a chance yet, if you kind of a little confused, so the super chat giveaway, $1 will give you one entry. We got all kinds of stuff going through. We got them jigs, just added some jigs. Chiefs Custom just threw a pack in there. So a lot of good stuff, a lot of entries coming in. Be sure to get yours in for a good chance to win. And then, so Travis, you said you're planning on getting the whole Opens team in there. Tom, Gary.
I'm going to try to track them down. In fact, what I should do while we're talking here is let me just get that invite sent out to them.
Yeah. So Slump Gumpy in the comments brought up a good point, Travis. He said you got the Super Bowl tomorrow evening. Do you want to release the podcast a little earlier to try to catch people before they all head out for their Super Bowl parties?
Yeah,
might not be a bad idea.
It's Gray Buck.
Ooh.
Yeah, let me know in the comments when you guys want me to release that one. I forgot all about. I don't even know who's playing. Who's playing in the Super Bowl? To be honest,
you got the Chiefs and the Buccaneers. So I mean, it should be a good one. Who knows? What was I thinking? So, I mean, I'd be willing to bet you might release that podcast tomorrow, but the majority of the views will come in mid-July because I believe that tournament's at the end of.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm sure you'll get a lot of big-time people listening to that, trying to get Gray's opinion on there. And it'll be fun, too, once you get all the rest of the team on. We'll see what everyone's looking forward to because I believe, are you all just fishing the Northerns, or is anyone else in your team fishing other divisions?
No, just the Northerns. Just the Northerns.
Not too bad. And then, yeah, so I was thinking about this the other day, too. We were kind of talking about it. So there's kind of a lot less margin for error this year with only the 3 tournaments. Last year they had 4 tournaments in each division. So, if you had a bad day or two, you could kind of recover from it. But with there only being, 9 tournament days, if you make every final cut, one bad day could just ruin your whole season. That's got to be a lot of pressure on you guys.
Yeah, we're definitely. I want to talk about it with the guys when they jump on here. I wanted to take a break, but before I do that, I just thought of something here. Behind me is a bunch of the Megabass 110 Plus juniors.
Okay.
And I don't know if you guys have thrown this yet. I'm a huge fan of the Megabass 110 Plus because I love how I can get a little bit deeper. A lot of times when I'm throwing a jerkbait, especially for smallmouth, I'm fishing in that 8 to 15 foot range more often than not. And I feel like getting that bait down just a little bit deeper is allowing those I just catch a lot of fish on that bait.
Yeah.
They have a whole wall back here full of these baits.
Wow. And so is your discount, does that work on Megabass too? Because I know on Tackle Warehouse and all those other big companies, you can't discount Megabass for anything. So is the Real Shot letting you do that?
Yes.
Ooh, man.
Okay. So you guys can pick up, they have a bunch of Vision 110 Plus.
Yep.
I'm going to put it on this screen here real quick.
Okay.
Because it is freaking legit.
Mm-hmm.
The colors that they have here, I'm actually going to pick up a bunch here before I leave.
Yeah.
So it's called, and I'm going to pronounce it wrong, Elegant Bone.
Oh, yeah.
That's one of my favorites. Got that chartreuse purple. Now this size is it's still going to get down there, but it's giving that fish just a little bit smaller profile. Of course, the perch color that they got, and check out this color right here.
Wow.
Look at that chartreuse. Oh, look at that.
Stack stickers.
We got the head-to-head stickers. I don't know what they got here. That's going in the gift package.
Man.
All right. All kinds of stuff, dude. All kinds of stuff in the pack.
It keeps getting bigger.
It does.
Do you ever think Megabass will come out with like a really small 2-hook jerkbait, or do you think they wouldn't do that?
Oh, I'm sure that's in the that's got to be in the works.
Yeah.
I wish I could. Oh my God, dude! I didn't even know. Can you see that color?
Oh yeah, the orange and red belly.
My goodness. GLX Tone, TONEKIN, Kin.
Yeah.
GLX Tone Ken. Yeah, that's not the 110 plus, but it is the 110 Junior.
Yeah, that looks real similar to, I remember when Milliken was in New Jersey, he was fishing with Ike and Ellie and all them. He kept using a color real similar to that, and super, super dirty water when it was really cold. So that might be an option for everyone to look at when it's cold, muddy water like that. It's typically obviously not the best scenario, but that might be a color that could get it done for you. Absolutely.
Yes. My goodness.
David Brown says he's 15 minutes from the Mega Bass warehouse. Whew.
Oh, wow.
I'd be going over there at night to grab
That's
a couple
totally
things. You know what I'm saying?
That's totally cool. Well, I see my buddy JP is on.
Yeah, bring him in here.
Here, I'm going to. I'm gonna probably.
Yeah, just kick me out, get JP on, give him a little, ask him some questions, pick his brain a little bit, and I'm sure people love that.
It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. All right, let me real quick. We're just gonna take a quick little 2-minute break, guys, and I'm gonna go grab my buddy Gary and get him on here, and then we'll bring JP on.
Smallmouth Crush one-on-one. Been having a blast doing these, helping a lot of people out. If you want to break down
Nobody.
Well, of course, Travis is unaware of this. He must have hit pause or something when he got up. So he's basically just going over his one-on-ones. I mean, it's really interesting. I've gotten to sat down. I did one with him, and when you get him up in a corner, he'll give out some good stuff. And I'd say it's well worth the time, especially, you know, you got a tournament on a big body of water, something that could be real important to the success of your overall year, and he'll hook you up. So, Travis, we had to ad-lib your commercials again. You hit pause before you got up.
You got me, Holmes.
Yep, you just got to hit your play on your commercial again.
a new body of water, maybe you have a tournament coming up, you want a second pair of eyes, perhaps you want help setting up your electronics, maybe you just want some help with a specific fishing technique, we can talk about it. We can talk about anything and everything. All you got to do is head on over to my website, travismanson.com. Upper right-hand corner, you're going to see Smallmouth Crush gear and one-on-one.
Yeah.
Put that in your cart. I'm going to get a notification, so I'll contact you, and we'll pick out a time that works best for both of us, along with some questions that'll have you answer as far as what you'd like to discuss, some different topics, and then we're going to get together. It's all going to be taped, and you'll get a copy of that afterwards. It's been a lot of fun and helping a lot of people out, so I hope to hear from a bunch of you on the Smallmouth Crush one-on-one. Smallmouth Crush Live Patreon edition. Love doing these live shows. It's a blast. Our first ever Patreon was last month. We had over 60 people sign up for that show. It was awesome. We talked about some really cool techniques. We go a little above and beyond, a little more intimate. We get to hang out with a smaller group, answer questions. February 18th will be the next one. Starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. Of course, if you can't be there, you're still going to be able to watch the reruns for up to 2 weeks prior to that. We're going to talk about a killer technique with a bait that I've had some really, really good success on. So I hope to see a bunch of you there for February 18th Patreon Live. Check out the description of this video or any of my videos. You'll be able to see how to sign up. It's $10 a month, and really appreciate the support and hope to see a bunch of you there on the 18th.
Yeah, definitely looking forward to that. We're going to be right here at the Real Shot for that Patreon, and it's going to be good. It's going to be good. So don't forget to sign up. You don't have to sign up today, but sooner than later. Make sure you can watch that Patreon. All right, let's bring my buddy JP.
What's up?
What's up? What happened? What happened to the handlebars, dude?
Oh man, I got rid of it. I had to get that off. I got to look a little professional at work, you know.
You look good.
Thank you.
We had a nickname for you. I made the thumbnail for the YouTube video that we made, and it was like Mr. Handlebars.
Well, I'll tell you what, I could grow that thing back in about 3 or 4 days. So
all right, good enough.
If it's a hit, we'll bring it back.
I got Gary in the house. We have a little announcement to make, guys. For anyone that doesn't know, we signed up for the Opens. We're actually waiting for Tom to come in. Gary, get in here, man. Put them headphones on. Let's go to town.
How you doing, Travis?
Good, good. You guys hear Gary okay? I think so.
I can hear you.
Unfortunately, yeah, our setup right now, I thought I had the perfect system. I can hear Gary, but I can't hear him through these. So you can hear us, right, JP?
Yeah, I can hear both of you.
Good, good, good. So here we are. You were ice fishing today, weren't you?
Yeah, Gary, you put the smack down on me, man. We caught one little 8-inch perch all morning.
Oh, wow. Yeah, ice fishing's been good for me this year. I've got out for 2 trips this year, and I've really got them good both trips.
Jealous, man.
Well, I haven't gone out yet. I'm going sturgeon spearing, though, this weekend. I mean, I'm just sitting in the shack for about 45 minutes. For those not from this area, sturgeon spearing is a big deal on Lake Winnebago and the upper lakes. You basically drill a hole. You have an ice shack that's pitch black. You see into the water. You have a spear this wide, hangs up. You grab it when a sturgeon swims under, and you just chuck a spear into the thing and pull them up on the ice. I guess there's an art to it. Have you ever done it?
I've never done it.
Are you bringing the live scope? I seen some guys, they're bringing the live scope out, and you can watch the pitchfork go down and stab the actual sturgeon.
Oh, nice.
Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, check that out. That's pretty neat.
Is there videos on it?
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, no shit. Okay. Yeah. No, I don't have the portable setup. I'm just going with my dad and my buddy Dirty Steve's going to be out there. He drew a tag for Lake Poygan, the Upper Lakes, which is I guess a rare thing. It doesn't happen too often. The Upper Lakes are a little bit shallower. Seems like guys have a little bit more success on Poygan and Winneconne when they are sturgeon spearing, but I don't know. I don't get into it. I don't like taking a fish that's 80 years old, just throw a spear in it and smoke it up. I think there's better things to do with your time than I'm just being honest. I'm going to get some haters, but let those fish live, man. Give them a break.
He's saying that till he gets some smoked sturgeon, right, Gary?
Uh-huh. Until he starts eating it.
It's all good. Yeah, so guys, I was hoping Tom was going to join us, but he's got some things going on down in New Jersey right now on the shore with a project he's working on. So he said he's going to try to get on this, but yeah, for those that don't know, JP, myself, Tom Nee, and Gary are going to be fishing the Northern Opens, and we're going to be working together this year. Our first event's on the James River, Oneida Lake, and then Lake Ontario. And JP, Tom, and myself, initially, it was just going to be us three, and we made a YouTube video. We're going to document our whole experience, practice, working together. We're going to try to make videos on a nightly basis and get them up on the YouTube channel so you guys can kind of follow along. Of course, we'll have the actual tournaments. We're trying to make a really cool little series of our adventure because we got a lot of cool personalities. You know what I mean? I think it'll be pretty fun. And we'll definitely do some lives on the road as well during that time. But it was cool doing the initial video. And then, Gary, you actually got your entry fees paid for by the Real Shot.
I did.
For the Opens because you won Angler of the Year in one of their the Wisco events, correct?
That is correct.
And so you had your choice to do whatever you want. For some reason, being from Wisconsin and a pretty good angler on the Bay of Green Bay and Clearwater and all that stuff, you decided you wanted to try the Central Opens.
Yeah, I chose the Central Opens because I had history on all 3 bodies of water, and I have done fairly well there. So I thought fishing 3 bodies of water that I knew versus 3 bodies of water I have never seen before would better suit me. But once I tried to get into the Opens, the Central Opens, I found out that they were already filled up and I couldn't get in them. So I knew I talked to Travis earlier, and he was a little bit shocked that I had chose the Central over the Northerns, being that the Northerns had 2 smallmouth tournaments, and that is kind of my forte. So after thinking about it, I called Travis up. I said, "Hey, Travis, I couldn't get into Centrals. I'm going to jump into the Northerns." And he kind of hesitated for a minute. He goes, "Well, I kind of figured that you would be," he said. He goes, I thought that would suit you better anyways. And he goes, well, let me talk to my friends and see if I can't make you part of our team. Well, I was kind of late to the party, so I wasn't expecting too much, but it didn't take long, and he called me back. He said, you're in. So I was really appreciative, and being late to the party like that, I don't know the two other guys personally, but I hear they're great guys, and I'm really looking forward to the opportunity.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun. We got, we all bring a little something to the table. I think when it comes to our experience, and I know JP, you've been doing a lot of research on these bodies of water so far. Give us a little update. What are some things you're working on, and preparing yourself for these events?
Man, I got some screen time in. I mean, Tom was nice enough to share that the Google Earth Pro app with me, and I've been going to work every night just on the James River trying to mark every single little feeder creek and duck blind and isolated dock, cypress trees. I think I got like 300 waypoints marked already.
Dialed in. What about tackle prep?
Yeah, I've been pouring a lot of jigs, man. I mean, my prep for the James River is going to basically be all store-bought products, but when it comes up north, I've been pouring tons of jigs and swim bait heads, and I've been working 2 or 3 nights a week just trying to bang out as much as I can now because it's going to start getting busy here in the next couple of weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, once we hit the ground running here, I'll start fishing next month. Believe it or not, it's crazy to think that. My boat will be here at the end of February. And by the way, guys, if you're not from Wisconsin, what is it, like -20 out right now?
With the wind chill, it's like 19 below.
Yeah, it's crazy out there. So to think fishing, not so much, man. Not even sitting on the block of ice right now doesn't sound fun to me. But yeah, we're gonna hit the ground running in May. Do you got a boat coming, or are you gonna use your own?
I've already got my new boat.
Okay.
I did get a Skeeter ZXR 20-footer. I've been a Skeeter guy forever. I've ran 20-footers the last 2 boats. Decided to downsize and go back to the 20. Just because I just feel like I get a little bit more mobility out of a 20-footer versus the 21. The 21's nice in the big water, but other than that, I don't need that 21-footer.
Yeah. I'm going to have a project, once my boat comes, the rigging and stuff like that. I'm going to be leaving mid-March to head down to Tennessee and start practice. And then when I get back, it'll be nothing but guiding. And then we're basically going straight to the James, you guys. So it's going to be exciting. JP, what's the number one lake out of those 3 that you're looking forward to the most?
I'm looking forward to Oneida Lake the most out of the 3 stops. I've had a lot of success there in the past, and it's going at a good time of the year. We're still in the month of July. I know it's late, but I'm really hoping that the bites will be coming. The fish definitely seem to be getting a lot bigger there, and that's the one I'm looking most forward to.
Gotcha. Gary, how about yourself?
I would say the Thousand Island St. Lawrence River. I think that fits my style. Heard a lot of good things about it, and I love fishing smallmouth. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. For those that don't know, Gary actually is going to be on the SmallmouthCrush podcast. So he made the list of the top 52 smallmouth bass anglers in North America, and dished out a bunch of good stuff when it comes to, especially the Bay of Green Bay. So any guys that fish that on a regular basis, you're definitely going to want to pay attention to that podcast. I mean, you've done real well for years out here, dominated. We've won a couple tournaments, 1 or 2 tournaments together, some Wednesday nighters or Thursday nighters, which were fun. You caught that mega that one day.
7.5, yeah.
7.5 smallmouth, dude. That's crazy. On a little 3-hour nighttime tournament, he just jacked on him, man. Like, I don't even know. That was a cast I wouldn't have made. So I'm glad you got him in the boat. But no, it's gonna be good. I mean, like I said, we all bring our a little bit of strength. So I'm 12-pound Tom Nee. I'm not sure what his strength actually is gonna be. Maybe throwing that chatterbait he claims. I don't know. But Gary, you've never seen these bodies of water, any of them.
None.
So that's intimidating a little bit.
It is. But I'm gonna approach it like I do any tournament. I'm gonna do my research before I go there. YouTube videos. I'm also on Google Maps every chance I can, and I've got about 150 waypoints already. Probably a lot of the same ones you got. But that's my game plan. I'm just going to break it down like I normally do. I won't be able to get there before my official pre-practice, but I'll be ready when I get there. I'll assure you that.
Yeah, it's going to be, you got the longest drive too.
Yes.
I think I'm 6 hours. JP, you're what?
From Virginia, I'm 8.
8?
I'm 13.
Maybe I'm less than 6. I might only be 4. Somebody do the math. 14? Yeah.
You're 14 hours, Gary?
That is correct.
Man.
It's all good.
Nothing I'm not used to.
Too bad we're not going to Champlain for the first stop.
We love it there, dude. Yeah, so this is the first time anyone on the channel. Have you been on the channel before, JP?
No, first time.
Alive, so this is the first time. Cool. Yeah, we're going to have a video. We put up a video of all of us meeting, which is going to be really cool. I'll probably launch that next month or so. And then we're going to show you how we actually start preparing and planning for these events. And I'm looking for big things. I expect some big things out of this team. There's no reason why we all shouldn't be right there at the end of the season. Hopefully, things got to go right, man. Gary, JP knows it's hard to win an event.
It is
tough to win a big time tournament. Even a small one is tough, nonetheless.
I was looking back actually last night at the prior James River results, and it seems that magic number 13, if you can get the 13 pounds a day, you're in that top 10. And
no matter what time of year?
No matter what time of year, 13 pounds a day gets you into the top 10. Yes. And 2 of my three trips down there, I had 13.11, I think, the one day, and then zeroed the second day. And then the next trip, I had 14 pounds and then zeroed. So I just need to learn fish management. And I think that I can be competitive,
Yeah. Well, hey, guys, I noticed Tom jumped in here. I'm going to bring him on because I know he's a busy guy. What's up, 12
Yo, what's happening?
What you doing, man?
Yo, all right, first and foremost, check this out.
What the heck?
Oh, you fell down snowboarding.
Oh, really close, man. Really close. You see, I had a nighttime sledding event last night, and I ate it.
How?
Dude, I was gonna send it, bro. We have this track in the neighborhood, and I went for it, dude. I just started hauling ass. I went to jump on that thing, and that board didn't move, and I just hit my face so hard.
Board? I thought you were sledding.
You're missing half your upper lip.
Yeah, I know. I'm all jacked up.
Tom,
dude, he looks like that big 6-pounder I caught down in Ticonderoga last year. 12 hook marks and a beaten up nugget.
I talked to Tom earlier today, and I noticed that on your face. I didn't want to say anything. I thought you just had a big pimple coming in or something.
No, man. Listen, the sledding in my neighborhood is a little out of control. It's pretty intense. Yeah.
Jeez.
So what's happening, man? Where are we at? We're down at the Real Shot?
Yeah, we're at the Real Shot just talking. Gary came in here in person. We got JP. First time all of us have been on live, our little dream team here. We do need to think of a name, I guess, for our team. But
wait, I got it.
You got it? What?
Band of Randys.
Band of Randys. I don't know about that, Tom.
Come on, man. I like it.
We still need to find a nickname for me too.
Yeah, that's true.
Tiny.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm excited, Tom. It's going to be spring in no time down by us. What's the temperature by you today?
Oh, it's got to be in the 30s.
Oh, it's cold. Okay.
Yeah.
I got you. Where are you at? Right on the coast?
Yeah, right now I'm down in Avalon.
Oh, look at that.
Oh, man.
Yeah, check it out. Doing a little home inspection on some real estate down here. But I figured I'd take a few minutes with you guys.
That's right.
What's happening?
Hey, what lake are you looking forward to the most for the opens?
The James.
Shut up.
Yeah, man, the James. I'm telling you, man, I'm fired up. I think that's gonna be the. Yo, what's up, Paul? I think that's gonna be the deal.
Right, because your strength is tidal water grass fishing. We know that. I mean, you dominated the Ike tournament last year. What can we say, dude? You win boats like there's no tomorrow. You're in, dude. Stop it. No, I'm looking forward to it, guys. I think we're gonna make a good team. We all bring a little bit different approach to it, and we just got our work cut out for us, and we're gonna see what happens. So, any predictions in the comments, guys? I want to know who here is gonna make it out of us four. Is one of us going to the elites? Two of us? Three? How many they take? Four?
Or even the classic.
Yeah.
All it takes is one of us to win one. We're in the classic.
So
that's it, man.
3 events, 4 people on the team. So one of us is sitting on the in the bleachers during the classic, right? No. Does like first in points go to the classic, or is it the win?
Top 3.
Oh, so it's only all right. One of us 3, or 3 of us 4. And then how many go to the elites? Is it 4?
Top 5.
Oh, perfect. Tom, you're going to sit out the classic in 2020.
Whatever. It's all right.
All right.
Yeah, listen, man. There's always 2022.
And then we'll get you in the elites though this year.
Yeah, that's going to be important. That's a goal of mine. I mean, I definitely want to fish. I want to fish with the big guys.
Yeah. Damn.
Hey, listen, I dream big.
Nothing
Come on, man.
I know. Well, I'll let you. I know you got a lot of stuff going on, Tom. I'll let you get back. I appreciate you jumping in here real quick.
That's it?
Well, I mean, unless you got something else.
Now you're kicking me off?
Well, I just know before the show, you said, Trav, I really ain't got much time. I can jump on, but if you want to stick around with us, that's fine, dude. I just want to make sure.
Listen, I just want to know what's happening down at the Real Shot. Can you just like give me like a 30-second what's up down there?
Yeah, well, we're sitting behind an awesome wall of JDM products, a lot of different baits here. Vision 110 Plus Juniors, we just talked about those. Dual Realis vibrator, Vibration 62 it's called. And nice. Chief's Custom Plastics. Those Dream Shot baits, you throw those, don't you, Gary?
I do.
Those Dream Shot baits that he showed us, they float. That's going to be a bait that you're going to want to take down to the James. I caught him on the James back in the fall about 3 years ago in a regional on that bait. So you're definitely going to want to have that tied on.
Great looking bait.
It really is. It's got the right buoyancy is what I like about it. I can't, he's a small. I mean, he's pouring them out of his garage, and he does a really good job. So if you guys support those, his company, he'd really appreciate it. But Jacob Wheeler and Jordan Lee use his baits secretly, like they order from him. Yeah, no kidding. So it's not something to just blow off. It's legit. Speaking of making baits, JP, what do you got going on? You were making swim jig heads?
Yeah, I was making swim jig heads and football jigs for the last week here. So
you got a bunch set up. So you're getting ready for Oneida, huh?
Yeah. Yep.
The cool thing
I think I tied 100 football jigs this week. Doesn't seem like a lot, but when you work all week and then you're coming home and you got to pour them and bake them and skirt them, man, next thing you know, you got 3 days tied up in them,
Sure.
Man, you must watch like a lot of Bachelorette.
No.
How the hell do you sit down and tie 100 jigs, man? That's a lot of work.
Me and my 3 buddies, man, we got one guy pouring the head, one guy painting the head, and one guy doing the skirts, and just hang out and try to get it done. But it's nice when you're fishing a jig. There's nothing worse than getting hung up where you know where the fish is, and then oh man, I got to go in and get my jig. Nah, I just snap it off, tie another one on, and move on.
Yeah.
I hear you.
You've had some good luck on Oneida. What was your best finish there in an open?
I had a 3rd place finish in 2011.
Gotcha. And you caught a lot of fish on the jig, I assume.
I caught a lot of fish on a vibrating jig, to be honest, is what I was using. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Man.
But now it seems to be the jig. The jig is definitely going to be a player.
That place has changed. those fish are feeding a little bit differently. I know you guys tomorrow when Great Buck comes on the podcast, he's going to kind of break some stuff down and talk about that lake. So you want to pay attention to that.
I want to ask you guys something.
Yeah.
When's the last time you went to Oneida Lake and actually saw birds diving on bait? Right?
5 years ago.
5-6 years ago.
7, yeah. Crazy.
It used to be the most amazing way to fish for small.
Oh my God, it was so awesome. Just run around all day with your big boner.
I used to do that in Bago back in 2009, 10. Does that happen out here anymore?
It still happens a little bit, yeah. You don't see it like you used to. Big Green used to be able to do that. Bago, not so much on the Bay of Green Bay.
Yeah, and that's another thing. You don't see that really on the Great Lakes. At least I don't. Even just looking back over the years, Champlain hasn't been the greatest either. It still happens more on Champlain than any northern fishery that I know of.
I'll tell you a quick story. The first day of that open back in 2011, I pulled into this one pocket. It was like, I don't know, 11 o'clock in the morning. I only had 2 fish at the time. I had high hopes in the tournament. And I pull in there. I cast out. I was throwing a chatterbait. I'm working the chatterbait back to the boat, right? And I go, what is that? And I look, and there had to be 150 bass, right? And I killed it, and it started sinking, and I hooked one, and then it was insane, right? So I get 15 pounds, which back then was a pretty good bag on that lake. You know, you knew you were going to be in the hunt. And I said, we got to get out of here. And I remember I cut my bait off and I threw it to my co-angler. And I said, make 3 casts so we can get out of here. You can get your limit and we'll leave. And I think back now, and I really, in the past 5 years, I cannot remember reeling a fish in and having a school of fish come up with it. It's amazing how much the lake has changed, right?
It has, yeah.
Hey, listen, guys, I got to roll, but I appreciate you guys having me on. Hey, Travis, if I'm going to put an order down with the Real Shot there, what kind of discount am I getting?
15%, man. SmallmouthCrush 15.
All right, good deal.
Get on it, dude. Well, have a good day.
Just hold some of those baits you were talking about, the whole wheeler, sneaky stuff.
I know.
Just hold me a bag, all right, brother?
I got you, brother.
All right, see you guys.
Right,
have fun.
Tom, thanks.
Later.
Later, Tom.
Cool. Well, yeah, it's going to be exciting. I'm ready, dude. I'm ready. I'm focused. You got anything going on before that event?
I've got a Wisco tournament here on Lake Winnebago. And then I've got a Bass Nation Club tournament on the Bay of Green Bay.
When's that one?
It's in May.
Early May.
May.
Yeah. Wow. You should be all right there. I guess I'm coming home for the Wisco event in June. So that'll be
it'll be you and I fighting again.
I don't know, man. There's some other good sticks that are going to have their chance. I don't know, man. Let's talk about that. JP, you want to hang out for a little bit?
Yeah, I got time.
All right. I didn't want to, I know you got your new setup. You got your headphones, dude.
I'm trying here, yeah.
Hey, for those that don't know, by the way, so JP, we knew he was going to get serious with these opens and doing some videoing with us. I didn't know this about JP. The first time we had him on camera, he had these big handlebars. It looked a little scary. I mean, you work outside, right? You move pipe around or whatever you do out in the bitter cold. And I didn't know this, but you never had a computer in your house.
No, never had a computer, man. Backwoods brush ape.
That's crazy. So you got yourself a computer. Now you're in 2021, it took you a while.
I come home, my wife goes, what's that for? I go, I don't know. I'm going to start videotaping myself on these fishing trips and stuff.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. But no, we so 2 years ago now, the first year that Wisco came out with tournaments, we had an event. Do you remember what time of year that Surgeon Bay was?
It was the first week of June.
First week
of June.
Okay. First week of June. I came home. I wanted to fun fish and not really focus on, the pressure of having to, practice and locate fish and do all that. And I got consumed by it. We had some bad weather. I remember that week leading up to it, like just some nasty conditions. I packed pretty like I pack like a jerk off. You know, when you're going to Wisconsin that time of year, you can't expect to wear flip flops and shorts all the time. Like I did not have my warm weather clothes on, and we ran into some nasty weather up north. But I didn't really. I called Kyle, and I said, Kyle, dude, I'm struggling. I don't even want to fish this thing. He's like, well, you signed up, you know, go do your thing. And so I put some time in, and I found a couple key fish on beds. I had 2 key fish that I found on beds that I had marked, and then I had some smaller fish back in Little Sturgeon Bay. And that day of that tournament, it was so windy. I ran to my first bedding fish, and it was still there. It was there like for a week. It was still there. I caught him. Went to my second bedding fish, which wasn't too far from that one. Caught him, and then drove all the way back to Little Sturgeon, and got way back where I wanted to get to, and realized that the water was way too dirty, and I had no shot at finding those fish on beds at all. And so I bailed on that and went back to Sturgeon Bay. And that's when, for some reason, those fish just started to move up that afternoon. And I was able to really catch some good fish and thought I had enough to win the event. Turns out, wasn't the case, because Gary whooped my monkey ass big time.
Well, I had a good day that day. I had a 6, I think it was 6.7, and a couple 5.5. So that really put me over the edge. But he's right. It was real rough. I chose to make a further run that day. I had found some good ones the last couple hours of practice the day before. I knew the area that most guys were going to be fishing had been pressured. We just had a holiday weekend. We had our local Sturgeon Bay Open, and there was 60-some guys practicing for this tournament. So I knew them fish had got beat up bad. So I chose to go north of Little Sturgeon. I took a long boat ride in a lot of rough water. But I got there, and it was like my second cast. I put a 6, 7 in the boat, a couple 5s, and then I slowly upgraded through the day and got just under 27 pounds.
Damn. I didn't know you beat me that much.
Yeah, it was a little over a pound. You had a nice bag of fish.
Yeah. So you're heading back into the weigh-in thinking you won. I'm heading back in because I caught a key fish right at the end. I'm heading back in because I just noticed everybody else around me weren't catching. They weren't doing nothing. And I was just, I don't know, it was one of those days where it's just weird. Like I was the only, you know how it's always opposite? You see everybody else just wrecking them. I was the only one doing damage, and I would be going right behind people. They'd all be looking at me like, what the heck? And it wasn't nothing special. It was a Gajo Spirit Shad or a Z-Man bait. And that was it for me. And like I said, at the end there, when I caught that big one, you know, it was one of the coolest memories of fishing because it was right, I had like maybe 40 minutes to go. And I looked down. Actually, I was going out a little bit deeper, and there was a recreational boat with a younger guy in it. And he caught like a huge one. And I was like, oh, you know how you get sick to your stomach. He was literally 20 yards from me and just caught this gigantic smallmouth. And I looked down to my right and I saw a big one, huge. And I knew it was deeper. It was like 12 to 14 feet of water. And it wasn't quite locked on a bed at all. And I'm like, there's no way this fish is going to bite. I'm like, I'm not going to get him. I'm not going to have time. And so I was on my knees, like bent over the side, looking at the flogger. And I just decided to drop my bait down on it. And I shook it a little bit, and I'm like, yeah, that thing ain't gonna bite. He's not even on the bed, nothing. And I just kind of looked up to decide what I was gonna do, and that thing just hit and surprised the heck out of me. And I set the hook and then came up. You know, you're by yourself. It's a little difficult. I was pulling a little. I didn't deserve to catch that fish. He stayed hooked, but it was one of the idiot moves of just a stupid net job. I was able to get him on, get him in, and then again, we headed the weigh-in. I think you weighed in earlier than me, but I didn't really know what was leading or, you know, who was what in the weigh-in. A lot of good anglers there. Didn't have the weight I was expecting. And so I thought I had a shot at it up until up until the very end. But it was one of the most exciting formats to fish, I thought.
Yeah, that Wisco series is a very exciting format. Now you're in the boat by yourself. All decisions you make are yours. And when you hook a fish, it's your job to get that fish in the boat. You don't have a guy there with a net to get it for you.
Yeah.
I've been fishing the Wisco ever since the beginning now. I've fished all 5 both years, and I can't wait for this next season. It's so exciting. I just can't wait.
Well, you won last year again too, right? How many did you win? How many Wiscos have you won?
I've won 2.
Okay.
And I've had a couple seconds. I've won both on Sturgeon Bay. I did win Angler of the Year last year, which gave me the Real Shot sponsorship for this year. And so thank you, Real Shot, for doing what you do, putting that out there for us anglers to go to that next level. The guys that really want to pursue this as a living, to have that opportunity and have somebody that's willing to put their name and their brand out there to help us get to that next level is priceless.
Yeah.
So thank you, Real Shot.
Yeah, that's huge. I mean, your full entry fees for the Open was paid for.
Correct.
All you got's travel expenses. So now you just got to cash a check, man. You're living good.
That is correct.
You know, JP and I, we had to mortgage our. I don't know what we had to do, but it's crazy. What's entries? 1,800 a tournament?
Yeah.
Yeah, times 3. That's not cheap. You got to cash a check here to at least make up that money. I mean, that's always been my goal in these events, because I keep saying you never know when you're going to do well, when you're going to win. You know, it's so hard to get yourself in those positions. And, you know, my buddy Ryan Salzman, we got into an argument of how we like to fish and approach things. And I've always been the guy that wants to be consistent and guarantee a check. And yes, if the opportunity arises in practice for me to know that I have a shot at winning, I'm going to go for it. But I'm not going to push it. Like his style was, I'm going to swing for the fence. I'm going to do whatever it takes. If I had a shitty practice, I'm going to keep doing what I think might be the best way to win the event, even though you're not. I don't agree with that style. I think you know by the end of your practice, is this going to be one of them tournaments where I'm fighting for a check, or is this a tournament where I legitimately have a shot at winning? And that's how I go about it. JP, what do you focus on when you're in those situations? I mean, if you know you're struggling, are you still going to try to catch a mega bag, or are you going to?
I really need to work on fish management this year, because I just have had, looking back, hindsight, I burn my fish out because I want to be leading the tournament after the first day. If I get, like I just said to James, the time I had the 14, I'm like, I went back to a spot that I knew had fish, that I needed them fish for the next day. But I was like, man, 14, 18 might lead it. Let me go down there and hook a few more, you know? So I really need to focus on the fish management aspect of it. And I'm definitely getting a lot better with being more content, realizing that, you know, I need to fish this way so I can get paid. Because you have a pretty good idea when you're on a winning fish pattern. Whether it works out or not is a different story. But you know, going into a tournament, man, you know, I got a good shot at this time. Or I'm pretty good at saying I got to lay up and just fish a little bit more close to the chest and get through the event, you know?
Gotcha. Yeah. Gary, what's your style when it comes to these bigger events?
Typically when I go in, before I even get to the event, I do all the research that I can, obviously. I go there with I don't know, I want to say thought that I'm going to win it, but I want to be confident when I arrive. By the time I'm done with practice, you typically know whether you have a shot or not. For me, because it's a 3-series event and there's points involved, and you can have a bad tournament and still be there at the end of the year for that Angler of the Year and a chance to move on to the Elite Series. So for me, I fish a little more conservative. Like you said, you know going into the event, day one, if you have a legitimate shot to win it. So typically I fish conservatively and I go for the points and the money if I don't feel that I can win it.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. I think it's a smart way to do it, because you got to stay in the points regardless. And it's so hard to actually win an event that when it happens, it happens. Even you could be on a good, I mean, I've had days where events where I thought I was going to win it, things have changed, and I was fighting for my 30th place check so I could salvage the day. Plenty of times that's what happens out there. And I'd love to do well. You know, I have last couple of years I struggled, and you know, I've only made a couple top 10 cuts. I've always been that 30th place guy in these opens, you know, in the last couple of years. And it's maybe I fish too conservatively. I don't know. My plan always is to get that secure weight that I feel good about, and then go try to do something a little different. But I always run out of time because I'm struggling to even get to that point. Just like on Oneida, we're going to face that challenge of, you know, I know 16.5 is going to be a good weight today, and you're going to be fighting for that 16.5 maybe all day long. When you want it in your mind, you thought, shit, I'm going to have that in the live well by 10. I'm going to go flip some mats the rest of the day, try to get a 5-6 pound largemouth. So it doesn't always go right for you. At least that's kind of my thoughts. But who knows? I mean, it'll be like I said, it's gonna be so cool to be able to videotape it, log everything, let everybody kind of watch us go through the season. A little bit of pressure, you know, I got to perform just from a standpoint of, you know, I feel when you do better in tournaments, it adds a little bit better credibility what you're trying to teach and talk to people, you know. So I feel a little bit of that pressure when I do go out there and compete. So I definitely don't. But at the same time, if it's a devastating, you know, it happens to everybody too. So, but hopefully we can stay consistent and put some fish in the boat. JP, what are your plans here the next couple months? I know you're probably going to be itching to fish Champlain. I know you're a stud on the south end of Champlain. You've done a lot of damage over the years out there. Do any of these bodies of water going to line up with what you're used to doing on Champlain?
Not really. I really think my spring is going to be focused on graphing Oneida, and I'm going to be going to Candlewood and trying to really learn how to utilize the live scope.
Oh.
Candlewood's only about a 2-hour drive for me. It's crystal clear, deep smallmouth lake, and I think it'll be a better suit for me. I'm not going to say I'm not going to be up in Ticonderoga, because I'll for surely be up there, but it won't be nearly as much as it has been, because I really need to focus on the 3 tournaments at hand, you know.
Man, that's dedication, dude, because I know you love fishing Champlain almost on a weekly basis.
I love it. I mean, I'm usually up there from the first weekend in April and every weekend. I mean, that's my favorite place to be. So
yeah, JP and I have a little totally different style when it comes to Champlain. You'll never see me where you fish, and I don't think I'll ever see you the way and where I fish. It's crazy,
right?
You know, you're gonna go do your thing, and I don't know, dude. You got the confidence in what you do, and I have the confidence on how I fish Champlain. But it's so crazy that you can do both. You can fish such different extremes and still do well in events. It's an awesome fishery. I wish Oneida fished like that. You know, Gary, I know you don't have experience on Oneida like us, but it has really gone downhill over the last couple of years. The fish size has gotten bigger, but the numbers are not there like it. I mean, you used to have 60, 70, 80 fish days, especially in the early fall. I can think of some late September, mid-September, late September, October, where you could throw a super spook junior, and if it ain't a fish every other cast, I don't know, you know.
Yeah.
I'm sure you've experienced that.
Oh man, me and my father went up there and fished this 2-part team tournament one year, and you fished from 7 to 11, and then you went and weighed in. It was a 3 fish in the first tournament, from 7 to 11, and then you went back out from noon to 4, right? And we pulled into this one area, and this was when Oneida was hopping, man. I mean, you didn't have the 18, 19-pound bags of smallmouth, but you had the 15 to 16 and a half, 17 pounds. And the guides were out there crazy like too. And my father and I, we caught 60 bass from 7 to 11 while there was a guide boat sitting next to us, using live bait, and I swear they caught a fish on every cast. And we went in and we weighed in at 11, and we went back out and we caught another 50 from 12 to 4. It was insane. I mean, the place was so good. I never went to Champlain. I went to Oneida every weekend.
Oh wow, yeah. Small lake though, 20 miles long, right?
Yeah.
20 by 10, give or take. We're actually gonna be fishing or staying up in the riverside, and so we have a house. We actually secured all of our lodging already for all 3 events. Things were looking a little shady there in some of those places. That we, as far as hotels on the James, it was tough. The housing will be perfect. We even planned the details of making sure we got 4 guys now. We got 4 trucks and boats, so we got to make sure we can park and get electric too, and all that goes into this preparedness that we're trying to do before we even get there. And I know, like Gary, I know you said you haven't been to any of these bodies of water, but the amount of research that you're going to put in, you're going to have in your mind a pretty good idea.
Absolutely.
By the time you get down there.
Absolutely. And I feel pretty fortunate that I got teamed up with a guy that has experience on every one of these bodies of water.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that'll benefit me a little bit, rather than just showing up and not knowing anybody and never being there. So I'm really excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm really glad you guys let me be part of it.
Heck yeah, dude. You're a good stick. Why not? We're going to get the job done.
I'll tell you, I'm really looking forward to having that camera in my boat, because I don't know how many times I can tell you, you're out there, you're fishing, the fishing's just not happening right. You're practicing for a tournament. You're there for a week, and then it starts to fall apart, right? And when you're by yourself, it's real easy to just start going negative. Man, this just isn't going my way. I'm digging myself a hole. I'm not catching any fish. This sucks, right? But now you got that camera and you're like, man, I really got to stay positive and I got to figure this out, because it's not just for me now. I want to show people that I can do this. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
I want to bring something back to the house at night and say, hey, I'm on to something here.
Yeah.
So I think it's going to help me keep a positive attitude throughout the day, because let's face it, when you go up there and you practice for 5 days on certain bodies of water, not all 5 days are going to be fun. Some of it's more like work, right? And you're like, man, I'm grinding through this. And, like I said, you're by yourself and it's easy to start unwinding. But I'm looking forward to having that camera in the boat for sure.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
Yeah.
Good deal.
When you're real competitive, like I'm sure we all are, and things aren't going your way, it's easy to feel like the wheels are falling off the bus.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Who's doing the cooking? That's what I want to know.
Yeah,
I'm bringing the food.
You are. What do you got?
I got the venison. I know you like to shoot big bucks, Gary, but down here in New York, we got some big bucks, but I put a lot of deer down, and I got bratwurst and sausage and burger, and I got some pastrami. We can make pastrami sandwiches. I'm telling you, I got a Yeti full, ready to go.
All right, good.
Awesome.
I like that plan. I think Tom said he's bringing the beer, and
I'll bring plenty too.
We're going to be working hard, though, guys. It's going to be some long days, and I do want to go live a couple times while we're at our house too. So we're going to have some special edition late night lives. We're going to kind of let you guys know how it's going. We're not going to put most of the video content out until obviously after the event, just because there's a lot of eyeballs there checking things out. There's some big teams being formed right now too. Make it no joke. What we're doing is probably one of the really valuable things, just like what JP was saying, even just for emotional support, having people to kind of talk to and listen to their day and how their day went, because we've all been there. 3-4 days on the body of water. I mean, I can't tell you how many times on the Potomac, dude. The time I took third, I had 5 terrible days there in practice. Like, I wanted to go home, dude. I didn't want to go fishing. It's 95 degrees, just hot. And the fish weren't biting. You knew nothing was going to happen. And because I kept plugging away, fish are biting somewhere on that body of water all the time. It's just, are you going to run across that group of fish? You know how it is. Someone's going to always bring in a good bag. So, and the James, one good thing is, I think we'll have fun on the James because We're not there at some crazy times of the year. We're there when the fish should really be cooperating. Oneida, you're going to be at that tail end of when the fish were probably the most active they would be in that post-spawn mode. It's going to get a little tough there, but you are up north. It's smallmouth and largemouth waters. Suits my style. We're going to have fun. We're going to catch fish. And then, of course, Ontario, you're going to hit that lake at a great time to put a mega bag together there. You know, expect, depending on conditions, perfect conditions, expect a 24-pound bag, I think, you're going to need to be in contention for that one, if not more.
Definitely looking forward to getting back up to the Thousand Islands. That's for
sure. Yeah, dude, we had fun up there last year.
Oh yeah, that was a great time.
I'm going to be fortunate. I'll be up there pretty much all month, you know, leading up to that event, guiding and stuff. So I'll have a really good pulse about what's going on and how those fish are reacting. Hopefully Canadian waters will be open for that event. Fingers crossed, man. I mean, I'm really, that's my biggest, if I had to say what's my biggest concern of these three events is, are we going to be able to fish Canadian waters? One, because I may or may not be fishing Canadian waters, but it's going to allow the field to spread out a little bit more.
Yeah, I got a buddy that lives up that way. He was telling me that the Canadian season isn't even opening their bass season until July this year.
Well, they changed it a little bit. They actually have an early season now. And then they close it. And then, yes, they open it later on. Yep, it's actually a good thing. It used to be the third week in June you couldn't catch bass at all in Canada. Now they're giving you a pre-spawn window and then closing the whole thing down for the spawn, which is perfect. I did a lot of interviews with some Canadians for this podcast, and they're excited about it because they've never been able to. You literally can't. You cannot, like, you know how out here sometimes people would pretend to catch bass. You know, say they're fishing for walleye. You do that in Canada, you're done. Like, you cannot be in a bass boat in Canadian waters before the season opens. And so people are really excited. They never had a chance to really fish for pre-spawn smallmouth before in Canada because it was just illegal to do.
Man, imagine the bag you could get up there pre-spawn.
Sure.
Crazy.
It would be. Sick. Speaking of that, let's talk a little bit more about it's a good topic, a good transition here, and then we'll let you go, JP. I know Gary's got other stuff to do here on this beautifully bitter cold day here in Wisconsin. But let's talk top pre-spawn smallmouth techniques and baits. I want to hear, Gary, let's start with you. What's your favorite way to catch them pre-spawn?
Two ways: swimming a small swim bait and a jerk bait. Them are my two favorite ways to catch them. And it seems to work real well, especially on the Great Lakes. When that water temperature is between 45 and 55, jerk bait is lights out. The small swim bait, that 50 to 60 temperature, that the slow rolling, that high tech, a 3.3, a 3.8, and that's another good way to catch them.
Yeah, absolutely. JP, how about yourself?
Yeah, for smallmouth, mine would be a jerk bait.
Jerk bait.
Man, I love that jerk bait bite, you know?
Yeah, it's awesome.
You know,
I wish they would eat that year-round that good.
They do, JP. You know, that's one thing I'm finding out with a lot of these interviews I've been doing. Some of these top anglers out there, they have a jerk bait tied on more often than you think. And, you know, it is a special bait, especially in pre-spawn in the spring. I love the fact that there's so many different varieties and brands out there, and some very expensive ones and some very inexpensive baits too. You know, we talked to Frank Scalish recently, and he mentioned a couple key baits that'll be coming up here on a podcast that are, you know, under $6, $7, and the guy just wrecks them on it. Of course, you got some $30 jerk baits from Japan too that are good, but it's fun to play around because everyone's got a little different action, a little, you know, different color schemes, things like that. I do love a jerkbait, but I think my favorite technique, which I don't get a chance to fish too often, but I can remember some times on like Little Lake Beelamore, which is a lake around here, a lipless crankbait. That old school, trying to think of the one knocker, who made it?
Oh man, Excalibur.
Excalibur.
Oh, come on.
Dude, sick.
Come on.
That's a fun way to catch him free spawn. If I could fish anyway, I think it would be a lipless.
If I could find some of them, I would feel like I hit the lottery.
Shit, I got a bunch, dude. And I'm never gonna. You'll never see that in my auction.
Oh my God.
What's your favorite jerkbait, Gary?
Well, I'll tell you what. Before the high dollar mega basses came out, I caught more big smallmouth on the regular husky jerk.
Really?
They used to make a color called the mullet, saltwater mullet. And I'm gonna tell you what. I could wear some smallmouths out on the thing. I would go between groups of boats and just wear them out and leaving people scratching their heads.
A husky jerk.
A husky jerk.
What size typically? Like the 2-hook version or the 3-hook?
The 3-hook, the bigger one.
So just like it's.
Yes.
Yeah.
It looks just like a smelt, and I fished it in a different way. Most people have that cadence 1, 2, 3 or 1, 2. I would rip that thing one jerk as hard as I could, like you were going to pull your arm off, and you'd go to make that next jerk, and there'd be a fish on it.
In that colder water, were you still pausing it though?
Yes.
So this is crazy. So
but just briefly.
In the cold water.
In the cold water, and that jerk would react. The fish would react to that, and they just couldn't resist it. They had to eat it.
Dude, I love that because oftentimes I find myself working a jerkbait really, really fast and catching fish in temperatures that most people are like, "Why are you jerking that like that?" And you need to slow down. You need to count to 8.
My one jerk would move that bait 4 feet.
And then it's a pause.
And then it had to be a pause.
Was that primarily just with that husky jerk and the action of it?
Just with the husky jerk.
Wow.
And that one jerk, what it would do is it would roll that husky jerk on its side. And it would look like an injured bait. And when it came to that pause, they had to eat it. They just could not resist that bait.
I got my notebook right here. I'm writing that down.
And I've caught them on other colors of husky jerks.
Yeah.
But that mullet was the color.
I'm gonna go find that color.
And it's hard to find. Kyle and I every once in a while will go online and
really
find them, but they're not usually in this country.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm gonna try that. That's a really.
It's a technique that came from Canada.
Sure.
Canada guys did it and that's where I picked it up from.
Yep.
Fishing around Canada guys, and I seen them doing it. I seen them wearing them out. I soon picked up the technique, and for years I was doing it, and people couldn't figure out how I was catching it. But that's what I was doing. It was just ripping that thing.
A rip, pause.
Yep.
Rip, pause.
That bait had to move at least 4 feet, and it was one rip.
I assume it's the shallow husky jerk?
Yes, the shallow husky jerk.
Any modifications? Were you changing hooks out or straight out of the package at work?
Straight out of the package at work.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. And typically 15 feet of water or less.
Wow. Good stuff. Learned something new today. JP, you taking notes?
Yeah, the mullet. Yeah, maybe I'll grow one of them for this season.
There you go. Oh, that's funny.
I like the X-Wrap, the Rapala X-Wrap.
Do you?
And I would take the feather off. I don't like the feather on it.
Okay.
Yep, the 2-hook X-Wrap.
I sold all mine in an auction a year ago. I couldn't do it. I don't know, man. I couldn't get into it. I know it works.
I like the mega basses, but up here, every other fish is a pike or a pickerel, and that starts getting real expensive. So,
yeah.
I
wonder, there's got to be a lot of old school jerkbaits that, I'm looking here. TRS has a used tackle section where I guess people bring in their baits and maybe on consignment. Eric will join us here again, hopefully on the screen. There's a couple older baits up there I want to get his opinion on, but I see a bunch of husky jerks sitting right now that would probably work.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's just interesting. You never know. Have you ever messed with like a countdown Rapala and things like that?
I have a little bit. The smaller countdown ones where I would cast them, just slow roll them back to the boat without the jerky motion. I have done well doing that also in cold water.
Yeah, yeah. Man, good stuff. Good stuff. Well, JP, we'll let you get going.
All right, I'm going to take out, guys.
We're gonna take a quick break here. We're coming up to the second half. We're gonna bring Alex in here real quick, and then we're gonna continue on with the show. So thanks for hanging out.
See you guys later. See you later, Gary.
Yep, take care, bud.
See you, Travis. Yep, bye.
Perfect. All right, I'm going to take just a quick break, guys. We'll be right back.
Plus all the new boats are released right now.
Smallmouth Crush one-on-one. Been having a blast doing these, helping a lot of people out. If you want to break down a new body of water, maybe you have a tournament coming up, you want a second pair of eyes, perhaps you want help setting up your electronics, maybe you just want some help with a specific fishing technique, we can talk about it. We can talk about anything and everything. All you got to do is head on over to my website, travismanson.com. Upper right-hand corner, you're going to see Smallmouth Crush gear and one-on-one. Put that in your cart. I'm going to get a notification, so I'll contact you, and we'll pick out a time that works best for both of us, along with some questions that'll have you answer as far as what you'd like to discuss, some different topics, and then we're going to get together. It's all going to be taped, and you'll get a copy of that afterwards. It's been a lot of fun and helping a lot of people out, so I hope to hear from a bunch of you on the Smallmouth Crush one-on-one. Smallmouth Crush Live Patreon edition. Love doing these live shows. It's a blast. Our first ever Patreon was last month. We had over 60 people sign up for that show. It was awesome. We talked about some really cool techniques. We go a little above and beyond, a little more intimate. We get to hang out with a smaller group, answer questions. February 18th will be the next one. Starts at 8 o'clock Eastern. Of course, if you can't be there, you're still going to be able to watch the reruns for up to 2 weeks prior to that. We're going to talk about a killer technique with a bait that I've had some really, really good success on. So I hope to see a bunch of you there for February 18th Patreon Live. Check out the description of this video or any of my videos. You'll be able to see how to sign up. It's $10 a month, and really appreciate the support and hope to see a bunch of you there on the 18th.
Yeah, but you can't be hanging on jerseys.
Yo.
Did you guys hear him okay? I just noticed I had his freaking mic off.
Yeah, you could hear him fine, so
okay.
You must have just been reaching over for him.
This one here. I try to, you know what? It's hard, man, being a one-man show here.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot going on.
Yeah. The wall behind me is getting picked over with these.
I know. Dwindling down.
So that was cool, man. I just want to introduce everybody, you know, as far as the crew for this coming season, the opens. You know, Gary's a heck of a stick. JP is going to be fun. Tom's going to be awesome to fish with, and it's going to be an adventure, dude. I've worked with individuals. You know, Matt, Miguel and I work together. My buddy Matt Stasiak has worked well together, but we've never done it just like that. For guys that are just joining us, we've been live here for about 2 hours now. We're going to go for a little while longer yet. Broadcasting live from the Real Shot in Wisconsin, my home state. Back in town for a few days actually, and I thought it'd be really cool to do a show from here. You know, every time you purchase from the Real Shot, use that link SmallmouthCrush15. It helps out the channel. We also have a giveaway that I want to talk about here that are just joining us. We're getting some more goodies that are coming into the giveaway. We've got some Z-Man, some Kitex, some Get Bit baits. We got a Dark Sleeper, which I want to talk a little bit more about because it's a really good bait. Well, that wasn't supposed to be in there, but we're going to put that one in there anyways. Some Mega Bass. We got the Dual Realis, Rapala. I'd love to get Eric back on because I got to talk to him about this, the Shad Dancer. That's going to be in the package as well.
Yeah.
I forgot to ask him about that while we had him. But then we got a bunch of buffs. I'm going to throw some stickers and buffs in there.
Nice.
Every time you donate through Patreon, or I'm sorry, through what's it called? Help me
Super
out.
chat.
Super chat. Not only does YouTube take 40% of it, but it certainly does help out. And every time you donate $1, that's how many entries. And Alex got some program and spreadsheets. He's putting everybody in there. And I guess it randomly picks a winner at the end of the stream. So we'll send that out to you guys. I appreciate the support for that. Oh, and Dem Jigs threw in 10 jigs as well.
Yep.
To the winners. So this is crazy. Good stuff going on here.
Yeah, it's been a lot of good stuff. But one question I've seen recurring, Travis, is a lot of people want to know, where'd you get that vest from?
This vest? They want to know where I got the vest.
They do.
I'll tell you what. Here's what happened, and I'll admit it. Okay. So I'm on Insta. I'm a sucker for this. I'm on Instagram. I'm scrolling through, and all of a sudden, an ad would pop up. It was some dude wearing a blue vest. I was like, damn, that's a sexy ass vest, just like everybody on the stream saying. I said, I'm gonna go pick that thing up. So there you go. That's the story behind that. Dude, that Instagram ads, they get me all the time, man.
We'll have to get some SmallmouthCrush Instagram ads rolling. But I mean, yeah, a lot of people want you to throw it in the giveaway. I don't know how generous you might be, but
oh shit, I just got it, man. I can't give it up. I can't give it up. Oh
yeah,
man.
yeah.
Oh. Whew.
Man, has the real shot been pretty busy today? People getting out in the cold up there?
Yeah, you know, the problem is it's actually, I mean, from a visual standpoint, it's nice and sunny and blue skies, and it's just very cold. You know, coming from Wisconsin, it's just something you get used to. A lot of people, even back home, you know, where I live now, you get a couple inches of snow and schools close. You know, here it's just, this is how it is. If they did that, you never function. You know, businesses stay open in blizzards here. We're just used to it. You know, we're used to drive. I literally, on the way here, half the highway, 2 days after the snow, was covered in ice still, man. I was on packed, hard, super crazy ice rink, basically. But
yeah, I think pretty much like the whole East Coast is just cold right now. I know they got a couple big tournaments kicking off down in Florida next week, and guys are getting down there, and there's frost on their trucks. I mean, so it should be interesting. Yeah, it should be interesting to see how those guys attack it, because, I mean, everybody knows those fish down there can't stand a cold front. So it'll be some interesting tournaments. Might be some good stuff to make a note of, go back on if you ever have a tournament in Florida with those kind of conditions. But
yeah,
that should be good.
Well, I'm going to make a couple calls here or some text too. I'm going to see if I see they're waiting for Big Time Jimmy to come through. Let me see if we can get a hold of him.
Of course they are. So when you guys were talking, Travis, you guys' team, we're having a conversation in the comments about FG knot versus double uni versus the Alberto. I believe you're a double uni guy, correct?
That's what they tell me. That's what they tell me. I never really paid attention to it. I just know how to tie it. Asking about it.
I mean, we were just kind of arguing back and forth of what's the best one, why to use it, why not to use it. I think the most reason a lot of people are still sticking with a double uni is just because of the simplicity of it. But from what I've heard from a lot of people is if you just sit down for a couple of days, tie the FG knot 50 times, you get a pretty good hang of it, and it's not that bad. So I'm of the mindset where I'm not going to change unless I start seeing failures in one or the other. So I'm sure a lot of people are like that too.
I feel the same way with my knots. You know, I literally I fish so much, and with clients and stuff, and I use spinning rods a lot. So I'm connecting braid to fluoro, and that knot for me just it holds up. I've never had an issue, so I don't feel a need to change.
Yeah, don't fix it. It's not broken, right?
Exactly. Now, when I do tie it, especially for a tournament, I'm really testing it. So I'm pulling the lines tight, kind of snapping it a couple times, and if it doesn't break, I feel confident going into next the next tournament or whatever, or the day, especially if I'm preparing at night. I
mean, one thing I'll always do too is if I'm fishing
too.
Yeah.
When you test it, like it's not. There's some times where you can just for some reason it's kinked or it's just not right. and it'll tell you it snaps. It's frustrating. You're like, damn it, I got to retie that thing again. Well, you should have done it better the first time, Travis. And a lot of times that happens when I'm in a hurry in the water, when I'm trying to tie a knot in waves and my hands are cold or I'm on my knees and dealing with stuff. I tend to tie that knot in a hurry sometimes, and when it'll pop.
Yeah.
Do it. Take your time.
Sure thing. So, do you have a best practices strategy for tying waves or knots in the big waves, or is it just kind of you got to deal with it and there's no really one way or the other to make it better?
I face the so a lot of times the bow of the boat's facing the wind.
Yeah.
And so, I'll grab my stuff and I'll use my back to block the wind.
Sure.
And I'll just I'll try to tie it real quick down right in that little pocket there of the boat where the cooler sits. Because it depends on the situation. But yeah, big waves, that's what you're doing. And a lot of times when I'm fishing a big event, and I know I'm going to be drop shotting all day, I'll take 6 or 7 of my St. Croix Legend Extremes and have every single rod tied up with the drop shot, with the exact length and everything I'm going to use for the day. And if I break off, dude, just throw it in the rod locker and pull out another one.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's the best. And I see that with, again, a lot of these people I'm interviewing. That's what they're one of their main points that I come away with is they have rods ready to go.
Yeah.
These Carolina rig guys, they're going to have 3 or 4 rods ready.
Yeah.
You have to be efficient in tournament fishing. That's what I found. And one of the ways is, if you think about it, to retie from a broken fluorocarbon to a braid leader, if that happened, and it's a drop shot, you got a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
Especially if you're not used to doing it. If you're just a weekend angler and you get out a couple times a month and you're not retying too often, you're not going to be as fast as someone that does it every day either. And so you want to be able to save that time, have your stuff ready to go. I do that with my baits, especially in the tournament that I know I'm going to fish. I want everything handy, and I make a little day bag, a little day pack of baits I think I'm going to use and can just rotate through.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you're saying, it only takes one cast to catch a 5-pounder and turn your day around real quick. So if you're getting an extra 10 to 15 casts in than the average guy, you're putting 10 to 15 casts might not sound like much, but it could be the whole difference in your day. So certainly, I think that's probably one of the more underrated aspects that is a fairly controllable variable that people could take advantage of to improve their game immediately.
Sure. Yeah, I would agree. There's a lot of strategies that go into it that, just having, as we're talking about it now, like with Gary and JP and Tom, when we're trying to prepare for these events, it sounds silly, but even like knowing where your gas stations are located at a new body of water or a tackle store, or I'll have I know you could just Google stuff, but I like to have a folder. I have an actual hard paper folder that has my reservation address in there, my phone number to the place, and then I'll write like the nearest tackle store. I want to have my address of the place handy as well. So if I'm on the lake and I need to order tackle that day, because if I don't order it right now and then, I'm not going to get it to the event in time. I want to have all those things ready. I can call them up. This is where you ship the stuff. I've done that so many times out there. So I try to be like, I'm so prepared. Like I know where everything's going to, boat ramps. I want to have the address of every boat ramp on that lake that I might use, because dude, I've been there. I remember I was down in Arkansas somewhere in the Arkansas River. It took me 2 hours to find this freaking boat ramp, dude. I lost 2 hours of practice time that day.
Yeah.
Because I had no clue how to get to the place. And just wrong turn after wrong turn, dead end after dead end. I remember another event, just a quick story while we're on it, but I was fishing a lake down south, real hilly area. The GPS, and I should have confirmed it on Google Earth too. Don't ever trust an address just off of whatever. Look at it. So anyways, dude, I'm going down this windy road that just starts to get smaller and smaller until it's gravel. And now I'm on an incline bend, and I don't see what's around the bend. And I'm coming down a hill, and it's now gravel. And I think I'm heading to the boat ramp. Obviously, it's down in the valleys, the reservoir or whatever. And so I turn around, I get around that corner, dude, and I started freaking out because the road basically ended. And picture a nice bluff wall and just a downhill on your right hand side. And so I immediately froze. I slammed the brakes on, which caused the brakes to lock up. And so as I tried to put it in reverse, it wouldn't even let me go in reverse.
Oh my God.
And I couldn't go forward anymore, dude.
Wow.
So just freaking out. I found logs and secured all 4 tires of the boat because I had to unhook it.
Yeah.
To take the release off of the brakes.
Wow.
Or at least that's how I couldn't do it any other way.
That's crazy.
Dude, I thought I was gonna lose the boat down the hill, or if I continue going, I'd there's no way I'm gonna, just stories like that.
I mean, I absolutely agree with what you're saying. I mean, if you can just take everything off of your mind and just focus on fishing, you don't got to worry about where am I getting gas, where can I pick up those extra hooks. I think it's just taking more stuff out of the way that could throw a wrench in your day, and doing little things like that could absolutely put you ahead. And that's what you're going to have to do this season. You're going to have 200, 250 boats in every tournament you're fishing. You're going to do those little things that are going to put you ahead of the other people and hopefully give you a shot to be near the top. So I think you certainly got a good game plan.
You know what I'd like to do, because everything's kind of set up here, and we're waiting to get a couple people.
Yeah.
And this would kill a little bit of time. We don't have to do this. Maybe I will. Let me know in the comments. I was thinking about maybe releasing the a pre Gray Buck podcast.
Ooh, a little clip. Yeah.
On the live. Let me know in the comments if you guys would be interested in that. If not, no big deal. It'll come out tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, those responses were on in. Travis St. Chris wants to know, do you use a tube a lot on the Chesapeake Bay, or is that not something you use too much?
I'm going to be honest with you guys. I do use a tube a lot. And I have not made a video about it yet. Nor would I.
You ever use a stupid tube up there?
So is that rigged backwards, one of them deals?
Yeah, it's basically, I'm trying to think how to describe it real quick. It's basically like a weedless tube, and you rig it backwards basically, and it's like a weedless tube on an EWG jig head pretty much.
Yeah, dude, I throw a tube a lot. Sade had a good point. He booked a guide trip with me, so remind me to show you that. It might not be the right time of year yet. Well, it will be. It's not how you think I'm fishing, though. And you guys understand I can't. That's something I've never talked about or made a video about. So there's some things I got to kind of keep to myself a little bit.
Are you planning on getting in a bunch of those open tournaments up there where you got time, or is that not something you're going to do on the bay this year?
So, yeah, pretty much every Saturday is open for a tournament. So hopefully Eric and I will be able to fish a few.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
BTC will be able to fish a few with me.
Sure thing.
Yeah, I think it'll be pretty. It'll be fun, man. I'm looking forward to it. I'm a little not upset, a little disappointed I couldn't get into that big time tournament.
Yeah, I would be upset too, especially when you have the boat for it and everything.
Yeah, everything would line up perfect. Whatever. What are you gonna do? You can't complain about it.
Yeah. What are you gonna do about it? But I mean, yeah, the overall response has been that people want to see the clips, so might have to roll it out if you get a chance.
Let me pull it up. That'll give me a little break here, anyways. I gotta grab some food.
Sure thing.
Let me do that. I think that'll be cool. You guys will appreciate. Actually, here's what I want to do. I want to play it, and I want to get people's honest thoughts on it, like
Okay.
some good feedback on this. Remember, when I filmed this, he was probably my third or fourth interview.
Yeah, it was one of the first ones.
So I was fairly new at it. You know, I feel a little more comfortable. I think you'll see that. Well, you know, one of the later episodes might come out next week, and then a newer one would come out 4 months later. So you're not going to be able to judge it. But yeah, let me pull up we'll play a little bit of that here. Let me just make sure. It's going to take me a second to cue that up.
Sure.
And get some lunch here. Not that I'm excited about it. I'm still doing the keto thing, dude. So pretty much nitrate-free pepperoni and some freaking cheese.
Whew.
And by the way, don't ever buy Green Bay cherry vodka.
They come back to haunt you the next day?
Frank and I?
Yeah.
And Tackle HD, dude, the bottle was full, and there was, I didn't drink a lot. My point is, it was like that much gone from the top that night. I had 3 drinks, 1 heavy right away. Then I calmed it down, and I really just sprinkled a little vodka in my last drink of the evening. And I woke up with the worst headache ever. I thought I was going to die, and it's really good, unfortunately.
Yeah, that stuff will get you.
I'm going to go back to Tito's, I guess.
I have to. Yeah, Lonnie Messer's got a quick question for you, Travis. What's your biggest bag of smallies you've ever had?
Man, that's a good question. It's not as big as you'd think. You know, on the scale, 31.2 or something like that is all. Like, I've had last year I never had a 30-pound bag, but the year before I had a couple.
Yeah.
Normally it happens a couple times a year. Everything has to go right and special, but I've never had like a 35, 34. You've heard of some of those bags, you know.
Yeah, oh yeah.
There's some, especially on like Simcoe and stuff like that. 25 used to be a gigantic bag. I mean, people don't even blink at that anymore. Like, you got to be at 28 or above to be like, wow.
Yeah. Absolutely. Is that something you think that's possible when the opens are up there, or will it not be that right time of year for that?
No, it won't be. You won't see that way. You won't see a 30-pound bag.
Okay.
I'm not going to say you won't. I doubt.
Sure.
I doubt. You could.
I was gonna say, do you think there's a chance for, let's say, the next, I don't know, 2 or 3 years for the New York state record to be broken?
Yeah, for sure. I think the state record is there. No doubt.
Yeah. So, guys, in the comments, we had a little conversation earlier. Give us some feedback. We're thinking of moving up the time for the podcast release tomorrow to noon. Let us know if that would work out well for everyone.
Well, we're going to share it. We're going to share that podcast with you right now. But let us know how you think other people would that are on this live right now. If I can find the dang thing.
Man, oh man. So let's see. Let's find a good question here. So, here's a good question for you, Travis. So, I know you've used the Stratix for a while, and that's probably been the general consensus best spinning reel on the market for several years now. And I think from what I've noticed, Shimano seems to be starting to phase that out, and they're bringing in that Vanford. Have you tried the Vanford at all, and what's your opinion on it?
I love it.
Okay.
Love it. And unfortunately, I'm going to have to upgrade to it.
Ooh. David Brown wants to know what happened to, what was his name? Big Dan, your redneck buddy?
Dirty Steve.
Dirty Steve, yeah. That's
Dirty Steve. I call Dirty Steve. He's scouting for sturgeon today. Like, how do you scout for sturgeon, Steve?
I don't know.
I don't get it. I mean, You know, I don't know. I'm picturing maybe maybe he drills a hole and actually like makes it dark, puts a jacket over his head, and sticks his head in there and looks for. I don't know. How do you?
I don't know.
I don't know how you do it, Steve. Is he throwing corn around on the bottom?
I don't know. I mean, I would think if you went over those with like a 2D, they'd just look like a big log or something. It'd be kind of hard to tell the difference.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I'm not sure what he was trying to get at. He was talking to me about that. So I'm going to try to get Dirty Steve on eventually, but
yeah, that'd be a good show. Absolutely. So, who do we have next week coming on live? I don't even remember. I'll pull it up real quick.
I don't even know either.
Michael Simonton, maybe?
No, Tackle Craft.
Oh, yeah. Tackle Craft and Epic Eric got their big announcement coming. And then Wednesday, I believe, is that going to be your, was it Tackle Organization video?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay.
Should be a good one. I think if people are going to take your advice on anything, it'd probably be
yeah, right?
Tackle Organization, absolutely.
And if anyone, I'm having some serious problems here with this.
Uh-oh.
But I got another way. I got to back up here. No, I don't. It's in the truck.
Play a commercial and go grab it, maybe?
Yeah. I am having security issues with my YouTube, and it's making me jump go through a bunch of hoops. And I've had that.
Yeah.
I've had that this morning. I had it last night. I want to hit a video that I have and change it to, and it keeps saying verify it's you, and so I verify. Yeah. Bear with me. Have you run into that before in the past with Google?
Yeah, Google pretty much any time you try to log into a new if you just log into your account on a new device in general, it makes you verified. I mean, I think a lot of companies are going towards that now, and I agree, it's pretty annoying, but I guess at the same time too, you don't mind it just because it is that extra level of security. So it kind of goes both ways. I mean,
it does.
I think Google's probably one of the more intensive companies when it comes to that, from everything I've noticed out there, but
yeah,
never know.
So it says there's something usual, blah blah blah. Open your app in your iPhone, which is what I have here.
Okay.
Doesn't let me do that.
Travis, are you gonna go ahead?
No, go ahead. I'm just talking.
I was gonna ask you, are you making it down to the Classic this year? You got plans to be there?
Good point. I might go. My schedule's open those 3 or 4 days, but
nice, yeah.
Got so much on my plate.
It is, especially with it being all the way down in Texas too. It's a far drive from anyone up north, really. Yeah. I mean, that should be a good tournament. It's definitely a lake that I've never heard of before, so I'm sure a lot of people will be looking forward to that. Yeah. Obviously, the move back to the summer is, I mean, that's going to make it a completely different tournament that time of year.
Really will. It really will.
It should be rather interesting, and then I'm sure soon they'll announce where the next Classic will be. Hopefully, you'll be in that one. That'd be awesome. But these guys in the comments love that vest. I've never seen anybody so adamant about Travis's vest before.
Dude, it's freaking gorgeous, dude. It's the best blue you can get.
It is.
These guys want to know. I don't even know. I'll promise you on the next live I'll have the answers for you.
Are we going to have a SmallmouthCrush vest coming out?
Ooh. That would be nice. I like the idea.
Yeah. You heard back from your sweatshirt guy at all? How's things going in that department?
Yeah, we're going to have some it'll be a little bit, but we'll get it.
Yeah,
we'll get
some
merchandise out there. I'm gonna have to run to my truck to get my my little device here, guys, so I can play this. If you can bear with me, you mind holding down the fort?
Yeah, sure can. Throw up a commercial, and we'll get some questions rolling through, and we'll have a good time.
All right, I'll be right back.
All righty. He's gone, everybody. Now we talk about whatever we want to. Shoot. All right, so let me know in the comments, guys. We'll get a conversation going. What is one technique that you think is going to have a lot to do with your success in all your fishing this year? What do you guys got? So Brendan Andrew wants to know PB, large and smallie. Largemouth, 5 pounds on the dot. Not too happy with that one. I'm really hoping I can break that this year. That's one of my main goals. And then, honestly, smallmouth, I don't know. I'd guess 3.5 pounds. There's a couple reservoirs up in northeast Indiana. Hirschtown's one of them that I'll go to, and you'll catch like 100 smallmouth, but you'd be pressed to catch one over 16 inches. I mean, the biggest smallmouth for me probably came off the White River down here. You can walk right down the bank and bedfish all you want during May. It's one of my favorite things to do. These stupid smallmouth just lined up on the bank for the picking, and you can go down there and just pick out. You could probably catch a 12, 15 pound bag if you find the right little stretch of river. So that's probably how I've caught my biggest one. But yeah, a lot of guys' responses rolling in here. Will stop. I do need to get better with topwater too. It's something
We got a ton of stuff.
love me a frog, but it's something I just typically don't throw. I get away from it. It's not a lot of confidence in it, really. Wow, Jack Ritz says there's some smallies and geese. I didn't even know that. I got several tournaments on geese this year, but yeah, I hate fishing geese. I've had a lot of good memories there. For those of you guys don't know, it's a reservoir in Indianapolis, and the homeowners there are just absolutely insane. And so they're trying to, I don't know if it's gone through or not, I haven't kept up with it, but they're trying to pass a bill where you have to pay $200 just to get the sticker that allows you to put your boat in on the ramp. And there's only one ramp. And then still, after you pay your $200 sticker, the launch fee is $20 on the weekday and $40 on the weekend. So, I mean, if you got a tournament on Sunday and you want to practice Saturday, you're looking at $80 just in ramp fees, which I can't stand. I think it's something they need to get rid of, but that's just my opinion, I guess. So, yeah, definitely, guys, one of my things I want to do this year is go up to St. Clair. Last fall, I bought my first bass boat. I've been rolling with a 12-foot tiny boat, and that about 10-mile-an-hour winds was the worst I could go out in with that thing. So I'm excited. Definitely got the new boat. We'll get out there in the big waters this year, learn a lot. I'm going to annoy the heck out of Travis, but I'm going to pick his brain on St. Clair, and I'm hoping I can. I think it's August 21st. I want to say that that big Bass Pro Open team tournament's going up there, and hoping I can get in it. I don't know. It sounds like it's gonna be hard to even get into in the first place. There's only 250 spots, and yeah, what's up? I can't hear him. So Brendan Andrews, I got a 2002 Ranger 185 VS. Got a good deal on it. I was happy with it. It's got Ultrex, helixes, so good in that department, and getting ready to get some good use out of it this year. So should be pretty fun.
What did I miss?
We're just going through the comments. People got some questions rolling in there, and go ahead.
I lost my thing.
Oh, you can't find it?
It's that external thing.
Yeah. We use those all the time at work.
Yeah, well, that's where the video is because I can't log on to YouTube. Whatever. Anyways, I'm still waiting to hear back from a few people here to get them on. In the meantime, Alex.
Yeah.
Let's answer some questions from the peeps. What they want, talk to me. What do they want to talk about today?
Yeah, sure thing. So one question I asked everyone was like, what's one technique that you think is going to play a big role in your success this year? So what's one technique for you, Travis, that you think is going to be in your back pocket that you get a lot of big fish on this year?
Well, I mean, I'm drop shotting, of course.
Yeah,
I'm going to be drop shotting a lot. Like, quite a bit, meaning,
yeah.
You know, areas I probably shouldn't be drop shotting, I'll be drop shotting. Definitely be throwing the drop shot on the James River, Oneida for sure, and then of course Ontario. So you'll see a spinning rod in my hand most of the time, at least in practice and trying to get some things going. You know?
Sure thing. That's one thing I kind of want to work on this year too, is kind of some sneakier techniques, like you're saying, maybe throwing baits in areas you typically wouldn't throw it, or, you know, techniques like power shot and the finesse Carolina rig. That's stuff like that is, I think it could have, especially on pressured bodies of water, it's a lot of, you can put some extra fish in the boat. Eric's definitely made me think about a lot of things on pressured water that I want to.
You know what I really thought was interesting? Like I still keep thinking about, I'm going to throw a Carolina rig a lot more this year in a lot of different applications.
Yeah.
I really, really am. That's my number one, what gets me excited going into this season is the fact that I'm going to have a sea rig in my hand a lot more. A lot more, because I know I can do some damage. I used to do it more than I bet you I didn't pick up a sea rig at all last year that I can recall.
Yeah, I don't think I did either. But I mean, one thing I was thinking of is whenever I'm kind of learning a new technique or trying to do something a little different, I always like to go to a body of water, maybe like a pond or something, where you're going to catch, like, you're going to catch a lot of fish there, and it's going to give you the ability to gain confidence in something like that. So do you have a body of water that you like to go to when you try new techniques that you know you're going to catch 20 or 30 fish or more a day, that's just going to give you confidence in something new?
Sure. I'd like to head up to and fish Will's waters on the St. Lawrence during that pre-spawn time. Really allows me to get things kind of set up, and it does give you confidence. A lot of times those fish will bite a lot of different techniques, which is nice.
Yeah.
They are still moody up there. If you have the wrong color crankbait on, you're not going to get a bite. You know,
wow.
I've made videos up there where we're around tons of them, and whether it be Will or myself has the wrong color jerkbait for that particular day.
Yeah.
And we just could not get them going. I see some questions here in the comments, like, what is your Carolina rig setup going to be? Guys, I'm actually, I'm going to share this with everyone now too, because I think it's a good time to talk about it. Freaking bags over there. I can only talk about so much, but I decided to team up with St. Croix for this season.
Heck yeah.
A lot of you guys know that, but I'm going through and I hate change, because with change comes uncertainty, and I always want to make sure I have things totally legit and right.
Yeah.
And so making the switch to all St. Croix rods, of course, all my spinning rods are St. Croix, but my bait casters have always been Dobbins in at least last 5-6 years. And I know the different applications. And so now, moving over to St. Croix, I'm going through that learning process again. So
that's cool.
I have to physically, when I go to the store to purchase a rod, okay, you're at the reel shop and you want to buy a rod, you need to bring in your reel that you're going to put on the rod, and you need to have line on it, and you need to thread it through, and you need to hold it and pull that line and feel the reaction of that rod. That's the only way you can tell what that rod will be good for. And so I have to go physically. I'm actually heading Tuesday for a visit up to Park Falls, Wisconsin. It's about 3 hours from here.
Yeah.
But I'm going to head up there and have a meeting and talk to them.
Cool.
Go through their lineup. They are introducing a new rod.
Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm really going to check that out.
Yeah. It really, I don't know how to put it. The Mojo Bass Rod Series, I use them.
Yeah.
Great rods. This is going to be a step above that, but not that expensive.
Mm-hmm.
It's all made here in the U.S., and it's beautifully constructed.
Yeah.
Looks like a high-end rod. It is a high-end rod. Don't get me wrong. It's just not one of the $700.
Yeah.
Anyone on the live stream buy this rod yet? Or am I going to be
Not that I've heard of, but I mean, I agree with you. I think 200 to probably 250 is the price range I like to stick with my rods too, and I think it's just the perfect price point where you find it's not junk and it's not luxury, but it's a lot closer to luxury than junk, and it can make a big difference just saving a couple bucks here and there, and especially
Here's what you have to keep in mind when you're looking at rods. This is how I do it. If I'm fishing bottom baits, contact baits, I want the highest end rod I can buy. If
I do the same
action baits, chatter baits, spinner baits, crank baits, jerk baits, any of that stuff, you can go a little less. These rods, these new rods that they came out with, even the Mojos, you could throw a Texas rig, you can throw a jig on it. Don't get me wrong. And it'll work just fine. And I probably will use it for some bottom techniques as well. But like I said, I was very impressed with them. And I'm excited they're going to be, they'll be out in March.
Yeah.
But there's still going to be a time and place for these Legend Extremes, you know.
Yeah, sure.
I mean, drop shot with nothing but this.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, if you're throwing a frog, you don't,
Yeah, on anything but this.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's the way to go, and it'll be real interesting too to see with the Classic being moved back. Companies like, I mean, pretty much every company comes out with something new with the Classic. It'll be interesting to see if they still release that in March, if we get a bunch of new products then, or we're gonna have to wait till June or July for ICAST maybe even. So it'll certainly be interesting. I'm glad that you're working with St. Croix. They're a great company. They supported our college fishing team here for several years, and there's great people up there. And I think it'll be a great fit between you two. And then I'm sure a lot of people are looking forward to getting their hands on some of your old rods. There's already a bunch of people asking that. But one question I wanted to bring up was from David Brown. What happened to Big Dan Elsner? I don't know who that is. I mean, does that ring a bell to you?
Yeah, Dan makes Get Bit Baits.
Oh, nice.
I think his father died today, so he couldn't be on the show.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, he's local here to Wisconsin. Has a bunch of tubes here at the Real Shot. Great tubes. I use them quite a bit. So, but yeah, that's the plan. I'm going to go with those Van. What are they? Vanfords. I keep
Vanford. Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with those on my spinning rods, and then I'm gonna go with the. I need a couple more bait casters actually. What is it? The Corrado K's 200s.
Yep.
Let me tell you how crazy I am. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna grab my notebook here.
Okay. Guys, down in the comments, let me know. I'm experimenting this year with some shallower spool reels, kind of I like the Shimano, so I'll use like the MGL style, something where it's only 70 yards. Previously, I've only ever used Corrados or like the SLX XT a lot, but do you guys use those shallow spools a lot, and what techniques do they excel in?
All right.
Got the notebook.
So for instance, this is how crazy I am about rods. So you might not be able to see this, but I have all the different rods and techniques listed as far as what I'm going to need for a spinning reel or a spinning rod and then bait casters. So I have 17 spinning rods that I need.
Yep.
And then I have 29 bait casters that I need. And then I have the applications that I'm looking for. Now these are, I shouldn't say that. These are applications, not rods.
Yeah, yeah.
So, and some rods will double for, you know, my Cinco rod, where let's say I'm throwing a wacky rig Cinco.
Sure.
A blade. I can also probably throw a blade bait, you know, a silver buddy on that rod as well. Texas rig, light football, light swim jig. So you get the picture.
Sure.
And so what I've been doing, because I don't have access to those St. Croix rods, all of them right now, is I've just been looking on their websites, taking notes, model numbers. You know, like here I have St. Croix Mojo Bass.
Yep.
It's the MG C72HM. That's going to be my chatterbait. spinnerbait rod for open water. And so I just have these all listed out on a spreadsheet. And I had that with my old rods. So I have a list here of my old rods. I always had a spreadsheet in front of me, just to know what I have. So we're gonna have a nice sale of rods, guys. I'm actually gonna offer Alex the first dibs because you reached out to me and because
I did.
Out. But after Alex gets done, I'll open it up to people that watch the show here. We'll just do it on the live stream.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Before
I put them out on Bass Boat Central. But we got quite a bit of rods that I will be selling. You know, there's nothing wrong with Dobbins. Just because I'm leaving St. Croix or going with St. Croix. I'm just excited about the lineup. They're both good rods. St. Croix, Dobbins broke a lot on me. I have 3 in the shop right now that I'm waiting to come back. So it happens.
Yeah.
And I'm going to break St. Croix too. Okay.
It's just you fish enough, you're going to break them.
But yeah, I'm excited about going. Moving forward, I'm still going to keep, they discontinued the green St. Croix Legend Extremes.
Okay.
I'm not going to be selling all my collections. There's no way. I'm in love with that rod. Although the new ones are the same. Okay. They're just a little different, but handle things like that. Same blink and all. But I'm going to probably keep 3 a piece of those. So I'll keep 3 of my medium lights and 3 of my mediums.
So do you have like a cap or like a number where you so let's say you only like to have 30 or 35 rods. Do you have a number where you max out the amount of rods you carry out, or you just fit as many in there as you can?
Good question. It's a tough one for me. When I go to guide up on Lake Ontario, I like to fun fish for largemouth every once in a while. It's a great place. So I have to bring every single rod I own with me.
Yeah.
And a lot of times I'm not using them. So they just sit in the boat and, get soaked when you spear a wave. I hate it. And I don't know how to manage it because a lot of times I'm jumping around from cabin to cabin or whatever when I'm up there. And so you just don't want to take them all out. I'm looking really hard at those Yakima, and I'd love to hear in the live stream if anyone. I always picked on people that aren't really pros that have them rod racks, those tubes on their trucks.
Yeah.
For years I would silently, or unless it was a buddy like JV, John Bernard, like Johnny, come on, bro. What are you, Johnny? You go to Chesapeake Bay. You really need 2 rod racks on your truck. Anyways, Yakima, I think, makes one that's more like a box shaped.
Yeah, I know. I think a small guy, maybe out of Oklahoma or something, makes them too. It's called the rod coffin, and that's what I'd prefer to have because then you don't have to worry about taking the reels off and run the line back to it again. It's basically just a big box that you can shove everything in there.
Is that what you think it's called, rod coffin?
Yeah, I've looked them up before. I've looked into getting one for myself, and from what I found, this was probably a couple years ago. Maybe they've changed. I'm not sure, but it was just a small guy on Facebook, and I'm sure you could order one. But there's all kinds of pros that you'll see rolling around with those things. I mean, they could probably fit just double the amount of rods you carry right there between your boat and that. That should cover you anytime. So certainly something to look into if you're in that market.
I actually called Yakima or emailed them to see if they would do some type of sponsorship cross promotion.
Yeah.
I haven't heard back. That's part of the problem with doing it that way. Like when I decide I want a product and want to use it, I don't have time to write an email, introduce myself, wait 6 weeks for
absolutely.
I'm just going to have to go buy it. And so I'll pay full price. It's going to be about, I need 2 of them, I decided. So I want 1 on each side of the truck.
Yeah.
And you can secure them up and lock them up good. I have some extra security precautions I'm using this year. I'll have 2 cameras inside the vehicle that will record. If it senses some type of incident, it'll actually catch a 360 of everybody outside the vehicle, and it uploads it to the cloud immediately. So even if they stole the camera, I'd still. You hear so many things happening nowadays, and I just want a little bit added security. So yeah, I'm going to keep my rods in a container like that for next year, if it works out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I got to find, I have an ARE I have a Lear cover on my truck with the track already built in.
Oh,
so
no.
I'll be able to add it. But love to hear anybody's solutions.
Yeah, I'm sure there's certainly a million ways to do it, and it's like anything, you find
don't
what
want
works.
to have to take them off the rod.
Yeah. Man, a lot of good comments rolling in today. Got some good stuff. Yeah. Warren County Bass says the rod coffin's right up your alley.
I didn't know about that, so I'll look into it. But that's my biggest plan, to keep it, to try to keep things organized while I'm on the road. If I could get rid of some of those rods I'm not going to use and clean up that space, even when I'm rummaging through with all my rods in there, because I fit them all in my rod locker, because I take out the rod tubes, right? I use the sleeves, and then I use the rod glove that I put on the reels.
Yep.
So they can bang around in there, which they don't, because they're so packed in anyways, and they don't get damaged.
Do you use those? Do you use the neoprene covers or more like that? Okay.
I use a neoprene cover. I don't really put them back every time. That's the problem.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. So I got a mix of neoprene and then just that regular mesh kind. And from what I've noticed, the mesh, yeah, you get a treble hook in them, and that's super annoying. But they're so much easier for me to just slide on the rod. Do you have any tips for getting those neoprene to go on there easily and stay on there?
Oh, for the rod, for the actual rod itself. I was talking about the reels. I use
okay.
reels. Yeah, I wouldn't know. I just use that rod sleeve, for the rod, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. It's nothing. It's nothing too fancy.
Yeah.
But the key is to be able to put all that stuff back.
Yep. Absolutely.
At the end of a fishing trip.
So we got a lot of comments coming in about different rods. A lot of people are saying they like Loomis. I know last year, you did a little search around for a little bit, trying to find, in your opinion, what was the best.
Yeah. So Tom Nee and Eric use G Loomis. I've used their rods, and I'm sorry, it's not the right. I compare their drop shot rods and their 7-foot mediums and medium lights, the Conquest, the NRX. So for me personally, it doesn't work for me.
Okay.
It didn't feel it's got to blow me away to beat a Legend St. Croix Extreme.
Yeah.
And it did not do that.
I know
Ray, who's on the who watches this show on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Hooked me up with the the Kistler Z Bone.
Yeah.
And that was the closest to a Legend Extreme that I found. I didn't really like the foam handle at the front. But other than that, it was pretty close.
Okay.
Yeah, no. Not the same feel. The blink wasn't the same feel by hand, but it felt the same.
Yeah.
That was the closest I found through my search of the best replacement for a St. Croix rod.
Yeah.
And obviously went back to St. Croix because I can't find a better one.
So when you're looking for a rod, I mean, obviously you're not a St. Croix, but do you prefer a cork over a foam handle, or what's your preference there?
Yeah, I like cork.
Okay. And then
I like these here.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask you.
I really do. I'm just used to it.
The biggest concern that I would see with those is, do they get real slippery when they're wet? I'm sure you'd be the person to ask about that.
No, they don't. Not at all. And they changed it. It actually has a little bit more texture on it.
Okay.
The old ones are smoother, and I've never had a problem with the smoother ones either.
Yeah.
That was a problem for me. I don't tolerate junk when I'm fishing a spinning rod.
Yeah.
I will not tolerate crappy shit. Like, it's not going to be crappy shit. It will not happen. So if there was any issue with that, and there was a couple years ago, those guides were too small on the extreme. And thankfully in 2017 or 2018, they changed those guides and made them bigger. I was upset, dude. I was about done with them. I loved everything about those small guides. That line just would get caught.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, especially too, you got that connection knot on there. That's just something you can't have. It's unacceptable, really.
Yeah. Here's something we need to talk about, guys. Let me grab them here.
Okay.
I think I'll be able to.
Don't yank anything off the table.
Jeez, I'm all caught up here.
He's searching. So guys, too, I'm sure most of you that are still listening have, but if you haven't had a chance, we got that giveaway running still. Get yourself in there if you can. You got a lot of good stuff going out.
Yeah, let's talk about that real quick. If you donate through Super Chat, we got a bunch of hard body baits, some pointer 100s, some Rapalas. We got a bunch of soft plastics. We got some buffs, things like that. Nice little gift package for you. So if you donate, every time you donate, you're entered into the drawing here at the end of the show. Just help support the channel. I know a lot of you guys have already, so I certainly appreciate that. We need to talk about the Dark Sleeper by Mega Bass. I haven't had an opportunity to make a video about it yet. I was a little late to the program. I didn't start using the Dark Sleeper until last year.
Okay.
I owned them, but I've never used them. My first fish I caught on it was in the spring of last year, up on the St. Lawrence River, and I was working it just like I would a normal swim bait.
Yep.
And if you're around gobies or perch, it's designed to look like a goby, okay?
Yeah.
But it is a very good perch imitator as well. And the hook is basically inside the top fin of this bait. So it's pretty good at going through cover and grass.
Yeah.
And grass. So, and it swims amazingly, and they have the perfect sizes. Now, as far as colors, they lack a little bit of variety.
I noticed that too, yeah.
In it. But they do have some really, really good colors. You know, this see-through chartreuse. That's the clear chartreuse, it's called. The dark shad is another one. And they make them in 1/4 ounce. They might even do a little smaller, but 1/4 ounce. And they have some 1 ounce. And so this 1 ounce and this 1/2 ounce is the one I use quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I started messing with it. It comes through the grass. You can pop it through the grass. You can dead stick it. You can kill it. You can yo-yo it. You can do whatever you want with it. And that bait's just going to fall perfectly flat like this, actually, on the bottom.
Okay.
And I've been doing a lot of slow rolling with it and been catching them. And here's what I thought, because I don't know, what do they retail here for?
I think they're
I can't read it. Maybe $5.99.
Yeah, they're around that.
And so I was concerned, you know, one swim bait for $5.99, I'm going to catch fish on it, and you know, that hook's going to be shot. It's going to tear the plastic.
That's what I was going to ask you. Yeah.
No, very durable. They hold up.
Good. Cool.
And I'm going to have it tied on a lot more this coming season. I have a lot of ideas about places I can throw it. You're going to want to get some of these if you haven't messed with these. I don't care what part of the country you're from. It's a bait fish imitating swim bait that's pretty much weedless, yet has an awesome hook that's semi-exposed, meaning you're going to be able to hook that fish very well with this bait and still come through any type of vegetation. You know, even around rocks, it'll come through rocks fine, but I'm not necessarily worried about an exposed hook in rocks, especially a swim bait like this. I typically don't get hung up, but I just like to tick the bottom and work that bait real slow coming back through the water column. And the Reel Shot has a bunch of them right now. behind me. A lot of sizes. If anyone's from Wisconsin and they fish whitefish, one of the guys that works here mentioned this to me. They're using the smallest size possible, and they're using this through the ice to catch whitefish through the ice as well.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely. So, again, Smallmouth Crush 15. You'll get 15% off your order if you want to grab some of these dark sleepers. I'm certainly, like I said, was late to the party, but I'll definitely be using them more often in the future.
Is that a swim bait that you would use for that kind of jig fishing with a swim bait technique, or would you shy away from the dark sleeper for that?
You mean like jigging it?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, no, definitely would. Like a yo-yo?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mm-hmm.
For sure. It's going to come into play on Oneida for some guys.
Oh, I bet, yeah. I mean,
Especially
one thing. Yeah, go ahead.
Perch color patterns, things like that. Yeah. The chartreuses. That's one other thing I'm really excited about this year. Besides the sea rig, I'm going to get better at throwing swim baits. Not that I'm not. I'm going to set the drop shot down a little bit more this year. Not that I want. Not that, just to mess around, to experiment.
Mm-hmm.
And throwing a swim bait is going to be one of them. Not one of them big Austin Dreamcatchers Guide Service swim baits, but a normal swim bait you'd throw for smallmouth.
Yeah, sure. And then, is that one thing you try to do? I've tried to do this too. Is when you're just going out fun fishing, you're not practicing for a tournament. You're just going out to fun, like just to fish for fun. Do you fish in those scenarios with your confidence baits, or do you just put those away and experiment, like you're saying, with something new? So that way, when there's nothing on the line, that's your time to work on and learn it.
No, because when I fun fish, I love setting the hook, dude, and just catch them. So I just do what I do. I don't experiment. That's
it's hard. I mean, I don't blame you.
You know what?
You want to catch fish.
I had JP DeRose on the show recently, and he made a really good point when it comes to smallmouth fishing, because he films a lot of anglers. He not only that, but he covers tournaments, some big tournaments up in Canada, where he's actually filming them. And he can interview these guys, and they're going to say, I'm going to catch him on this and this. And this other guy's going to catch him on this and this, swim bait and a tube. This guy's going to catch him on a drop shot and a Ned rig. This guy's going to set Carolina rig. That's what their strengths are, and that's what they're going to use, and that's the rods they're going to have on deck. And all of them catch fish.
Yeah.
He says everyone catches fish. It's all about what you have confidence in, and what you just your experience with that technique is what makes the difference with these anglers.
Yeah. So do you think that one thing that can set you apart from those guys is, let's say their confidence is Carolina rig and Ned rig, your confidence is drop shot and swim bait. But if you can expand the amount of techniques that you're confident in, so if you get confident in that guy's Carolina rig, you get confident in his Ned rig, and now you have twice the amount of techniques that you're confident in, you can go out there and stack them up with those techniques. Do you think that's what sets the good anglers apart from the great anglers?
Yeah, obviously I don't think it can hurt you at all, but at the same time it can confuse you too.
Yeah.
Just like I said, I carry all these rods with me. That Carolina rig rod I carried with me all year, never pulled it out. But I think it's important to definitely experiment with that and put in rotation. But for the most part, you get good at 2 or 3 techniques in that genre of fishing, okay, if you will.
Yeah.
So your deep water fish, your shallow water fish, your grass fish, your top water fish. If you get good at 2 or 3 baits in each category, I think you're well-rounded and covered for any situation. More than likely, that Ned rig fish would have grabbed a nice finesse tube coming past him as well.
Yeah.
If you're a tube guy, there you go. If you're a Ned guy,
absolutely,
there you go. That's how I see it. A lot. I see that a lot.
I think that's a really good point. I mean, if the fish is going to eat something, he's probably not going to be too picky. Would you say there's probably not too many scenarios where they're only going to eat one thing and that's it?
It's rare.
Rare, yeah.
It's rare. But it does happen, okay?
Yep. And that's why we all have $2,500 worth of plastic in our boat.
Yeah. Just looking at the comments here, Real Shot, I did talk to them. They have an order for those reels to come in. The Vanfords, just they're waiting. It's not them.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. Another company that works with our college club, I was telling Travis, this is Shimano, and they're out of stock on everything. I mean, Tackle Warehouse is pretty much out. I mean, and it's not like they're coming back into stock next week. They're telling them April, May, and June where stuff's coming back. And, you know, it's probably not really their fault either. I'm sure they get a lot of their stuff from overseas and production got backed up, and a company like that, there's a big demand for their products. So it's understandable. It just sucks because we all want to buy their stuff and they don't have any of it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, it is. That's with everything. Not only tackle, rods and reels, obviously. You know, what's cool about like St. Croix with this new lineup, they make everything in-house and all the components. Yeah. So we're not going to have any of those types of issues. There's a lot of companies that buy stuff and have it outsourced, and that's where you're running into issues.
Yeah, that's another cool thing too, is it's always nice to be able to support an American-owned, American-ran, American-made company. And with being the St. Croix like that, it's a great opportunity. And like you said, a big advantage is you're not going to have to worry about not having all your rods in for the year. You know you're going to get them. You know they'll be on time, and they should be ready to rock and roll for you. So one question that Jeff, I'm going to mess up your last name, apologize in advance, Jeff Gospel was asking, what's St. Croix is kind of their warranty policy? If you break a Legend Extreme, what are they doing for you?
Okay, so if you look back on their warranty policies, it used to be a lifetime warranty. They changed that a number of years ago now. It's, I believe, 15 years. That's a pretty good time frame for I don't know. I can't think of keeping, because with technology changing and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I have maybe one rod that's going to be getting up there in age. That's that Dean Rojas Quantum frog rod that I have. I also have a sentimental rod that's made by, I can't even think of the rod's name anymore. The company went out of business, but it's one of my I throw a pop bar on it. Open water. And I've caught so many fish on that rod. It's hard for me to give it up. That's the only two rods I have an emotional connection with: the Dean Rojas frog rod, and then that popper rod. Everything else I don't. You know.
Yeah. What gave you those connection to them? Is it just catching a bunch of fish on them?
Yeah, just some good tournament memories from it. I mean, that was my top water popper rod since 2009. So you got 10 plus years of using that rod in smallmouth country. I mean, I've caught hundreds, thousands of smallmouth on that rod. So the Dean Rojas rod was just special because it was my first frog rod. Dean Rojas actually held that rod and caught a bass on it. You know, back in the day.
That's pretty cool.
And so it's broken. The handle's broken.
Yeah.
The cork broken too. I tried to fix it. I took it to my parents last fall. They fixed it, but they used some big heavy metal rod they stuck in the things and then electrical taped it for me. And because I tried, I did my thing, and then they're like, here, we'll just, Dad gets an idea and goes with it. And it's actually heavy. It's uncomfortable to use. It's all up, dude. It's bad. That rod, I could really use a new. It's I don't even know. Like all the guides are terrible. No, do you have anything like that? Do you have any tackle that comes that has some type of value?
Yeah, I certainly do. So one thing I'm going to start doing it just whenever I get my first house or whatever, like my first little fishing shop or something like that, I'm going to make just like a big shelf that runs along the wall, and I'm going to have a picture of like a memorable fish or something, and I'm going to keep the bait that I caught that fish on, and that I'm going to sit it right under that fish. So I'll have the bait and everything that I caught that fish on, and I'll put it right under the picture, and I'll always be able to look back on those pictures and see, caught that nice fish on this bait. There's one sitting right here actually that I need to do something with. So this jig is one of my favorite little jigs. I get it off of OM Fishing Sinkers. And so the last day that I really took my tiny boat out with my buddy, we fished a tournament in the morning, and we caught about a 20-pound bag on this jig, and we went muskie fishing at night, and we both caught 2 big muskie on this jig. And I mean, it's absolutely, the muskie just tore it to shreds. The trailer's broken in half, but that's like something I'll take and put up in the little display case, because I mean, I'm not going to catch another fish on it, and if I did, it'd probably break the jig in half. But it's just little things like that I think are cool to look back and, you know, remember on. And that's honestly, that's one probably an underrated value for you for your YouTube channel, is you just have this treasure trove of fishing videos and memories that 30 years from now you can go look back on and be like, that was a fun day. I got it on YouTube and 30,000 people got to watch it. And it's certainly probably a thing a lot of people don't think about, is just enjoy it while you're out there. I mean, you're not going to get a fish forever. Enjoy those times and have fun with it while you can.
Oh, for sure. You know, just having a video log has helped tremendously. Like, I'll look back over events. You forget so much when you're out there.
Yeah. And I think JP was kind of saying it earlier, like, he's excited to have that camera on his boat because crazy stuff that happens to him. And I'm sure there's so many people that wish, like, oh, damn, I wish I had a video of that crazy thing. And it's definitely probably put me in the market for GoPros, just to have the ability to go back and look and be like, hey, look what I did.
Hey, it's nice, but it is frustrating with electronics on the boat, dude.
Oh, I'm
Things
sure.
are so glitchy, dude. You'll think you caught. There's so many fish catches I can never put up because it didn't catch them.
Yeah,
that
sucks.
It should be pretty simple. You press play, and then you can hit the button, save it whenever you want it throughout the day. Well, it doesn't work that way, man. Those things are so glitchy. I actually moved over to it's Mavic DJI Osmo action camera. I used that this past year over my GoPros.
Yeah.
And it's been a lot smoother. Not saying it don't have issues, but it's been a lot smoother transition doing this than with the old GoPros. So.
Yeah, I've never really heard anybody unsolicited. I mean, obviously that's not like sponsored by GoPro or anything, but you don't hear a lot of good stuff about GoPros, and it could certainly be easy to get frustrated with those. I mean, you catch a nice fish and then you realize the camera's not working, and I'd be pretty pissed too.
I was done with them. I
don't blame you. Yeah.
Every year I'd upgrade. They come up with a new one. They tell me it's better.
Yeah.
And it was the same old stuff.
Yeah.
I went with this Osmo, and as long as it just seems to work good. I had some SD card issues once in a while with it. The adapter for the mic, if you're running an external mic, is a lot better, more compact. And they held up. So
yeah, I mean, I'm sure there's definitely a hole in the market for that, and I know there's a couple companies. Garmin's got one. I've never heard of anyone use theirs. I know Tacticam is a company too, so certainly a lot of different stuff going on. And then you're using the Sonys for like your regular camera too, aren't you?
Well, I have that Canon.
Oh yeah, that's what it was.
I do use.
Yeah.
I don't know it enough, and I've said this before, guys. Every year in the winter, my goal is to learn camera and editing better, doing all that, and I never do it.
You got busy with a podcast this winter. I don't blame you.
It's so hard. But that's key, man. These guys are making killer videos out there. Just blowing. It's all about entertainment, dude. That's how you grow your channel.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, people want to just be memorized by shit on their computer.
I mean, it's hard. I mean, I remember that show you had Rick on way back in the spring, and he was talking. You guys were talking about all those like the Guggen Squad style type guys, where they'll go out and fish like a chicken wing or something absolutely ridiculous and catch a fish on and be like, oh, look what I did. And there's a market for that. I really agree with what he said. Is sure, there's 12-year-old kids that are interested in that now, but 5 years from now, when they want something that they're actually going to learn from and get value out of, they'll start watching channels like yours and Alex Rudds and people like that, where they can actually learn something from it, not just waste 20 minutes of their life watching this guy catch a fish on a Sour Patch Kid or something stupid like that. So I certainly started off that way, and I transitioned over to videos like yours and the guys where you can actually learn something from, because they're a lot more worth your time. And it kind of sucks to be in your position. Not a lot of people want to come over right away and check that out, but they're coming your way. We've already seen a little bit of uptick, and hopefully that trend continues.
Yeah, hopefully. Yeah, guys, I need to work on my audio game in the boat. I do. It's so hard with that external mic and wind and the conditions.
Yeah. Especially, I mean, a lot of times for you, there's just nothing you can do about it. You're out in the open, the wind's blowing 20, 30 miles an hour. There's probably not a lot you can do there, but
you could buy $1,500.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you buy
that
really
get wet eventually, and they'll break anyways. You can do some external mics. I have a decent system that's been working. I'm hoping to get better at it. I try to keep it. Listen, guys. I try everything I can to try to cut that wind noise down. I'm not trying to annoy you guys when I do it. It's just.
I mean, they were in that last video you did. I texted you, said that was really good audio for how windy it was out there when you're fishing those swim baits. That was good.
I bought that external mic. That was relatively cheap. It was a road something.
Yeah. I remember. I sent you that one. Yeah.
Real good.
What? Yeah. So what's the plan for your opens videos? Is every one of your team going to have a camera on the boat and you'll document?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't see Gary hitting record and capturing fish catches that well, but I'd like him to.
Yeah.
JP, he's committed. Tom will do it. And even if he doesn't, all we're trying to do, because every night we want to be able to, so we're going to have like a preview video of the event, talking about it, what we think is going to happen going in. And then either every night or every other night, we're going to have a video where we sit down and talk about how we fished. And while we're talking, while Gary's telling us how he found these fish off of a grass edge on a swim jig, and I was throwing it, a green pumpkin with a black trailer and just pumping the rod back and getting bites. We're going to play that fish catch in the background as he's talking.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. So I
cool.
want people to grab their day and share with us and make it a quick 20, 25-minute video about how this day went. And then right after the event, say Monday, Tuesday, we're going to drop these videos, just 5, 6 of them in a row.
Yeah.
And we'll have the actual tournaments too. It'll probably be a couple weeks after due to editing.
Yeah, I mean, that's a lot to edit. Absolutely.
And then we plan on going live a few times a night, a week during the practice as well. And just kind of, I didn't say this when those guys were here, but I kind of hit on it. This is my first time working with 4 guys.
Yeah.
As opposed to just one here and there. When I fished the opens, I was a loner by myself. Gary goes, wrong, I'll film my catches. Gary's still here, I guess. Gary, all I'm saying is you didn't seem like the guy that wants to take the time to hit record. That's all. But it's going to be different working with a bunch of guys. When I was by myself, man, I was just fighting. I was just trying to stay focused, and I had no idea how others were doing. I would talk to a few guys here and there.
Yeah.
But it was never, I'm catching them. You just can't trust. I'll tell you who's been really good.
Okay.
Tom Nee in the past, when we weren't technically working together, but we had maybe a team tournament coming up and we were fishing against each other. He laid it out what was up. I'm trying to think who else has played a pretty good. Joe Zombak has been good.
Yeah.
He doesn't if he's fishing against me, I don't think he's gonna you know, if we talk,
I
he'll
mean,
kind
yeah,
of,
sure.
he ain't going to give up the goods. But if he fished, I remember a tournament where he wasn't fishing the following week. And although I couldn't duplicate his pattern, he gave up some stuff. So definitely work, you know, definitely works well with these guys.
Absolutely. I mean, that'll be cool too when you kind of send those videos out about how you planned or how you caught them that day, and people will be able to go look back, say, okay, Travis was drop shotting, JP was jerk baiting. You'll be able to go back and look at you guys' results and how you did in that event and the conditions and say, okay, it was 70, clean water, and windy today. The jerk bait worked better, and then you kind of be able to go back and put 2 and 2 together. I mean, that's definitely one thing I'll be doing. I don't know how many people will do that, but I'm sure it'd be worth your time. I mean,
oh yeah, it will be. It will be. I just want success for all of us. You know how hard it is at the open levels. Just the amount of work that goes into it. I've been fortunate for some reason, man. I find those fish at some point in the event.
Yeah.
Whether it be the last day, I just get lucky, and my luck's got to run out, dude. Like that's my fear right now. Is my luck's got to come to an end, and it's going to come to an extreme end because I have such a bad taste. You know, after my first year of doing the opens and magically qualifying for the elites somehow, and then struggling on the elites just because I was unfamiliar with things. But that left a bad taste for competition a little bit.
Yeah.
Not really. It was just, you know, after that, and then, you know, to continue to fish after that, and then all of a sudden, it started in 2015. You know, I took a little break from tournaments as I transitioned out of the elites and moved out here. And then I started doing really well in the BFLs and just crushing it, you know.
Yeah.
And then jumping in the open. I've just been so lucky for some reason. Things just seem to work out with that game plan I talked about earlier.
Yep.
You got it to win, or you fight it to get a check. And so that's what I do. And I'm going to stay with that game plan here into James.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's, if you think about it, I mean, if that game plan's working for you, obviously don't change it, but 3 checks is going to put you pretty close up there in the top rankings for making the Elite Series. I mean, it might not get you there, but it'll certainly get you there if you can just get in there and find those fish at some point every tournament and get as much weight as you can. And you never know what can happen, man. One of these, I mean, it's like you're saying too, your luck's got to run out eventually finding these fish, right? But your luck also eventually has to get good, and you're going to find the winning fish and get on top of that and maybe win one of those things. Because that's something you haven't done yet, and I know you're looking to, and it's got to happen sometime.
Yeah, everyone has a I'm on a hot streak, and I call a hot streak, especially at this level I'm fishing, at the lower level, right? Your BFLs and your opens. Cash and checks. You know what I mean? That's a hot streak.
Yeah, absolutely.
90% rate, you know, of finishing in the money in events. That's got to come to an end eventually.
Sure.
Just like your winning hot streak or your top 10 hot streaks, they come to an end. And so, because you look back, everybody bombs at some point, and it's going to come. I just don't want it to come in the next 3 events.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I'll get it over with at the. I might bomb the chick, dude. I think about this. The opens aren't my biggest tournament. It's this ABA championship.
It's $100 grand right there.
100,000 first place.
Sure thing. And I mean, I'd agree with you. That's probably your hardest event. I mean, it's a pre-spawn. Would you say it was March, April, maybe pre-spawn? I don't know, but
mid-April, it'll probably be a spawning event. Maybe. Yeah.
I mean, like you're saying, there's obviously a lot of guys that can go up north and catch all those smallmouth, but I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people in that ABA that know Chickamauga like the back of their hand, and they're going to go out there and put the work to them. And I don't know how well they pay out. Maybe you just shoot for a check in that event. I'm not too sure how that tournament works.
Here's what I was thinking, because the payout's not going to be that good.
Just
I'm not in for points.
I see what you're saying.
I'm gonna go get a big bag.
Yeah.
I'm gonna pull a Ryan Salzman. You know.
There you go. Yeah, I mean, it's like fishing the classic. If you finish last place, who cares?
Exactly.
There's no points involved. You're all going for that big money. So
I do want the momentum, though.
Yeah, sure.
Into the opens, it would be cool to say, yeah, I took 20th on Chickamauga. I've never been there against 200 guys.
Yeah, absolutely.
But, and I guess it doesn't. It really don't matter. You got your gas money covered for the week. You know, that's about it.
Yeah.
So you might as well go get the job done, Travis. And that's where my focus has been so far. Looking at the comments here, I just want to go back a couple.
Yeah.
A couple spots here. Set the hook goes, are you running the Garmin Force again this year? I am not. I'm going with the Ghost this year, at least for a little while. I'm not going to tell you why for a little while, but I am running it for a little while.
Absolutely. I think he's mentioned that before. If you guys want to go back and look, he mentioned why the little while might be happening, but there's certainly a lot of turnover going on in trolling motors and everything, and it's real interesting to see how many people really see value in that brushless motor, because you got people running away from the Ultrex. I mean, they made that universal mount for the 360. The Ultrex sales have got to be going down, I would think.
I think so. I don't know. I couldn't go back to the non-brushless system.
Yeah.
Only because of my clarity on my graphs and no more interference. That's the main reason. I can deal with it being a little louder, not as fast. That doesn't bother me. It's a benefit.
Sure.
But it doesn't bother me at all. But I think I'll be happy with the Ghost.
Yeah, absolutely.
I try to do the best. I got some cool stuff, guys, coming for the new boat. My electronic setup's going to be, I think, the best setup a big water angler could ask for.
Nice.
And just the way everything's going to be put in place, that I'm no longer handicapped due to brand or how I can operate that electronics.
Sure.
It'll just be really efficient for me. Keeping it all on the boat and not breaking it's going to be a challenge.
Sure. Yeah. So Brendan Andrews asked a great question. Do you use a hydro wave at all, and how does that affect and work for you on the big bodies of water?
Yeah, I don't mess with it. I have used it in the past. I'm actually going to probably put it on my boat for this year and maybe play with it a little bit more.
Sure.
No idea. I don't know how you can tell if it works or not. I really don't. How do you, just because there's some more fish activity, you know, that's the story you hear. Well, I turned it on, these shad just came up to my trolling motor. Okay. You know, when those fish, when you have caught those, you know, so what if you see shad? Does that mean all of a sudden you're going to start catching, you know, I don't know. It's hard to tell.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to have one. I'm going to experiment with it. I'm going to use it. I think it'd be utilized more offshore.
Yeah.
You know, than running shallow cover.
Sure.
The flats and Susquehanna and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's what I was going to say. Dustin Taylor brought up a good point. Do you think when you're shallow, that kind of helps mask the noise of your boat coming in and doesn't make them as alert to your presence, or is that not something you see it being an application for?
You mean masking the noise of the boat?
Yeah, and the trolling motor and making it a little more natural.
I don't buy that either. If you walk into a room and somebody's screaming and someone's beeping a horn, you hear them both. That's not, the horn's not how you scream. Like, I never understood that. I think I get upset when people talk that way. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. That's pretty funny.
What the hell are you trying to, what do you mean? You hide the noise? Get out of here. You just own stock in that company or something or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe I'm wrong, dude.
So, yeah, I mean, David Brown just asked a similar question. He said, do you think the bottom of your boat color affects how well the fish can see it? But, I mean, would you kind of give it?
I like a black bottom. Somebody put a seed in my head years ago about that, and I don't know why. It just stuck.
Yeah.
Plus, I like the fact that black just doesn't show the dirt as well as a white bottom boat.
Yeah, sure.
But I am very cautious on parts and pieces that hang from my trolling motor too.
Yeah.
Those clamps. I don't like a silver clamp down there holding equipment on it. Powder coated black. Keep it dark. I don't need something shiny up there.
Yeah.
That can
I do the
catch.
same thing with like my boat stickers and making sure those are kind of a matte finish and not reflecting off back down in the water, just shining a big light.
Yeah.
Darius King says he plays a radio in his boat, so he still catches fish, I guess. What does it matter?
Uh-huh.
I'm sure it's more in people's head than anything else, of course.
I think so. So Denny Brower mentioned the light boat was better. Could be. I will tell you this. I don't, if I'm sight fishing for cruisers or bedding fish, I won't wear like a bright red Mercury hat or hoodie.
Yeah. I've heard that too.
I try to blend in a little bit. If I'm deep water, I don't care too much. I've been caught with a red hoodie on before. If I could, I wouldn't do it. If I'm
so like for that Chickamauga event, when you're thinking it's going to be small and you're not going to have a bright neon shirt on, and go out there and
yeah, it'll be I don't know if I'll be able to see them on the Chick as well either.
You have to get in touch with John Cox, see how he does it out there. He said
something.
He knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, Shady Banks says he paints little fish on the bottom of his boat. Yeah. Well, yeah, good stuff. Is Eric going to come back and join us, or is he out for the day?
I text him.
He's quitting on you.
I really want to talk to him about these older baits over here.
Yeah. I think it was on the Patreon I mentioned it, but a great giveaway for you guys to do one time would be if whoever wins, they have to have a bait that Eric doesn't have. Because every time someone talks about it, it's, oh, yep, let me go grab one. He's got everything.
Yeah. Yeah, big time Jimmy. He didn't commit. I can't bash him. He did not commit. All he said was, if I have time, I'll jump on today, Travis.
Sure. Anybody in the store want to jump on, or you just want to keep rolling with this?
Yeah, everyone kind of cleared out here. I do want to grab these baits if we're not going to get Eric on.
Yeah, sure.
We'll share it with, let's give us a second here.
St. Chris, that's probably one of the better comments I've seen today. Man, yeah, David, we'll have to ask. I don't know how mobile his camera and mic setup is, but I'll ask him about that when he gets back. He's got a pretty complicated setup he's got going on today. But yeah, thanks for hanging out today with us, guys. I had about 150 to 200 people all day. It's pretty good for Saturday afternoon. Yeah, so Travis, I was going to ask you real quick. A couple people are wanting you to take them on a tour around the reel shot. Is your mic and camera setup going to allow for that, or is that not going to work?
No, it really won't. It's connected to the computer.
Yeah, that's what I figured.
Dang it, I'd love to.
Could be a good YouTube video real quick or something.
Yeah, I'll be back here doing some Patreon. Will be from here.
Oh, cool.
And maybe that day I will do some in-house videos for sure.
Yeah.
So let me pull up my other camera. Okay, so
there we go.
Perfect. It'd be nice to have Eric here. I don't know the names of these things. They might just be generic baits.
Yeah.
So Like the Real Shot has, I think this is a cotton cordell. They have like a big shelf here of used baits.
That's cool.
More than just crankbaits, but
Yeah.
I just looked at some of these old looking things. You guys might laugh at me. You're like, you should know that. I don't know olds. Like, what is that?
That's pretty cool. I don't know what that is.
Eric could be able to tell us in a second. All
You
right.
pull out
So
5.
what is that, right? Here's something else that's weird looking. Again, I'm not an old school guy, so I don't know. Like, what is that?
I don't know. That's a good question. Both those crankbaits you had up, Will Stout wants to know, do you have more confidence in a clear or like a painted bill on your crankbaits, or do you think it doesn't matter?
I like clear, actually.
Okay.
I do.
They're saying Big O.
Could be.
Yeah, I have no idea. Couple Big O's, Baby N.
JP's like, you guys are still here? I don't know what this thing is. Tiny hooks on it. In the bag here.
That's tiny.
The heck is that? Looks brand new.
Yeah, a lot of people say Norman. I could see that.
Is this a Norman too?
I would always just guess Norman just because of those yellow eyes, but I could be wrong. I don't know.
I might have to buy them. They're only $2.
Not a bad deal. You putting triple grips on those?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, what the heck is this thing?
Yeah. People are saying Norman. They know a lot more than we do.
Guys, tell me what this one is. And I'm going to keep it because it looks rare. Find this. What is this crankbait?
It's an interesting color. That's a good little point. So that one's got a red treble hook in the front. Is that something you subscribe to or not?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Oh, that would have been a cool clip to show. So I assume this is another.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of these guys say.
C2 wants to know, do you think any of those baits are on the website, or is that just an in-store
No, these won't be on the website. They're all in store. They got so much on these racks. You have to actually physically come in to.
Yeah, it'd be hard to put all that up there.
At. So there you go, guys. I don't know what these are.
Pretty cool.
There's a bunch of them up there.
Think there's any possibility to buy those old baits and flip them?
Probably. That's why I need Eric.
Some people got them.
That's why I need Eric here.
Yeah, a lot of people, they're having trouble guessing the last one. A couple of guesses for Salmo, maybe a speed trap. I don't know. Lots of good stuff.
Stubby Wally Diver. Man, Wally Divers were the deal. They were.
One thing we'll have to do, Travis, is 84 Neilbone followed me on Instagram, and I swear he looks just like Tom Nee. You'll have to get the both of them on the show.
Oh, yeah?
They're twins. It's crazy.
It's funny. That's funny. Well, I don't know. Big Time Jimmy, Eric, it's a letdown. First, I want to thank everybody. We should talk about this last giveaway. Here's your last chance before Alex picks a winner. And first of all, guys, for everybody that donated and supported this, I really do appreciate it a lot. So thank you. You may not win, but I appreciate you doing it. Bunch of crankbaits here, jerk baits, whatever. Get bit baits. The head-to-head fishing's going to hook us up with the buffs and stickers.
Oh, yeah.
Chiefs Custom has some plastics he's offering us. The Finesse TRD. You're going to get some Kytex in there. And we're going to throw a dark sleeper. Kind of a perch. Could go for a goby color as well. And then I'll put some of my stuff in there as well, some buffs. And then them jigs donated 10 jigs to the winner as well. So that's going to be pretty cool. That's just if you donate Super Chat, every $1 you get entered in.
Yep. Yeah. That's a pretty good value, especially. I like that giveaway format too. That's a good idea.
Well, I stole it from Alex Rudd.
Yeah.
No vest. No vest.
He's not giving it away, David.
Not
yet.
I'll try to find out where I got it.
I'm telling you have to make a smallmouth crush buff. I'm sure all these people would love that.
I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, thank you, Grat84. Jeez. It's probably you probably have the most entries out of anyone now, Grat.
What's he got?
He got 50 entries.
Dang.
Just let me know whenever you're ready. I'll run them through the generator and we'll see what we get.
Let's wait a little bit here.
Sure.
Any other questions, guys, before we start wrapping this up? Long day. I know sometimes it's tough when you're just sitting there talking.
Yeah.
But sometimes this is what you guys need, just what you need, right? I like doing a lot of different styles. I like answering questions when it comes to fishing and try to get through everybody here. Of course, Alex, you were great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks again for Eric, the boys coming in today with us for a little bit. Sorry I couldn't get the Great Buck podcast, but I'm going to launch that tomorrow a little bit earlier.
Yeah, that seemed to be the general consensus.
Lonnie, thanks for checking in.
Absolutely.
Lonnie and I ran to town a few times back in the day during the tournaments.
Sure. So
then he disappeared to Texas.
Ooh.
Well, I disappeared, then he disappeared.
So tomorrow you got Gray Buck. Wednesday will be TAC organization video, and then Thursday TK and Epic Eric got a little announcement for us on the live show.
So TK and Epic Eric live. That's gonna be a fun show.
Yeah.
I'm really looking forward to that one because I don't know what they have up their sleeve. I know it's gonna be a pretty big announcement. I know people are gonna be excited for what he has to say. So.
That'll be a good show, and then got a lot of good stuff coming in the month of February, and then March should be just as good. And then, do you want to talk about the day change at all for the lives in the future, or do you want to announce that later?
Eventually we are going to change it to Monday nights, guys.
Yep.
I don't want to confuse you just yet. But yes, it is live show schedule. So real quick, before we wrap this up, TK is coming next week, Thursday. Then we have the Patreon on the 18th. Definitely want to sign up for that one. I promise you. Power Pole will be the next week. Nico Bates. Then we're going to skip a week. Michael Simonton. Then we have a follower of the channel. Kuda will be joining us. Another Patreon, and then Austin Neary, Folks Custom. A lot of good lineup. And then we're going to have some random people as well. But starting, that's why I started talking about it. Starting March 15th, we're going to go to Mondays.
Yep.
Yep.
Shouldn't be too much of a crazy transition, but yeah, real quick before we do this giveaway, Ethan wants to know how'd talking with the high schoolers go. Is that fun?
Yeah, it was real good. There's a handful of them on there. It was I had to drive down the road. I had to find a grocery store to get good internet. So my parents' internet went down yesterday.
Oh
So
my God.
thankfully not the day before when we had our live.
Yeah, that was sucked.
So their internet goes down and it's just bummed out. I'm dealing with so much with this. I'm really nervous. This Google's not liking me and my YouTube account.
I can help you work through it. I'm sure they're just being
I tried. It's pretty self-explanatory, and it's not working. So I don't know. I don't know what you're going to be able to do. But I did make some backups here and some security. It says I have a bad app or a suspicious app, which I don't.
Yeah, that's weird.
Crazy. But it got me thinking, I really need to protect this.
Yeah.
Somebody jumping into your YouTube channel and erasing all your videos.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely want to have a impossible to guess password for that. For sure.
Oh, so SmallmouthCrush 1's not a good password?
That was
joking.
Maybe not. Yeah, Bo Judd says it's a deep state. Who knows? Could be. They're on to him.
Could be.
All right, I'm gonna run this through the generator real quick and see what we get. All right, so the winner of the famous SmallmouthCrush giveaway. I haven't seen him on here in a while. I'm gonna have to reach out to him, but I think you know him pretty well, Travis. Anthony Tallarico. He was on earlier in the show, had some good stuff rolling through.
Okay.
Thanks to him. We'll get in touch with him, get his info, and get all those good baits sent out to him. Thanks to everyone that donated. It's a big help to the channel. We really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Hopefully we'll be able to have some more giveaways in the future. And we really enjoyed everyone hanging out with us today. It was fun. I learned a lot. I learn a lot every time I watch this show. I love it. So.
No, dude, thank you. It's been fun, guys. So, like you said, next week Thursday we will be hanging out with. I mean, it's going to be an awesome show. TK is always good. Epic Eric's always good. And then of course we're going to have some really good videos that come out just on the YouTube channel and the podcast. So awesome! I appreciate everybody hanging out with us. Not the big numbers. I was expecting a little higher numbers, but it was the right people, you know?
Absolutely. That's all you need.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. And again, thanks for supporting the Real Shot guys.
Yeah.
Again, whenever you make your last, you know, if you're going to make some tackle purchases, if you could use the code SmallmouthCrush15, certainly helps out the channel and helps support the cause. There, you know, like I said, inventory is going to be coming up. There's going to be more inventory coming in.
Sure.
We will get there. So perfect. All right, guys.
Thanks, everybody. We'll see you next Thursday. Should be a good one.
Later.
See you.
See you.